What you know about me? Seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me? I done it all, just want it all. Oh, what you know about me? I seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me? Oh, what you know about me? Oh, what you know about me?
Hey, since it's real talk, we're gonna update that joint. Since it's real, since we keeping it real, no cap on this joint. We're gonna update the joint. I love our intro, but we got to update it.
We've been talking about it for a long time now.
Yeah, we gotta have a new a photo shoot.
Yeah, we got to do something, sis. But y'all already know, y'all, it's more than the title, the hardest working podcast in the motherfucking world. I'm going to claim it. You already know I'm your host as usual, Jarrett, Chief Revenue Officer, Outside the Box Digital. And you know I got my brother, my brethren, your favorite CEO, Chadeo. Cuzzo, what's the vibes, man? It's real talk, baby.
Yeah, man. Listen, man, I'm just happy to be here, man. I ain't going to lie, man. You know what I'm saying? Feeling real good. I just want to say I had an amazing time with our Met Gala coverage, man, the other day when we did that, man. It was an amazing time with some great conversation, man. I'm still high off of that. I'm still high off of the conversation we had with brother Steve on the show, man. You know what I'm saying? When Steve Jones came on, man, and it just makes me, happy to keep doing this thing, man. But you know what it is, man. It's a bunch of testosterone in this motherfucking room. So, my cousin, me, we over the top. So, we got to have our girl a balance right there. And this, and is it this? I got to get my military right. She up above me there. She up above me right there. We got the balance in here to level out the testosterone. Nadege, a.k.a. the balance.
Well, it's good. I mean, today's been pretty calm for me. I'm glad to be here. Definitely had a great time doing the Met Gala review. That was some good times. Got a lot of good reviews. A lot of people laughing. I'm ready to start the show. Like, it's been a good day for me. I was gonna been a good day for y'all. So Chadeo, start out we usually do. Be grateful.
Before we do the grateful and thankful, what's the best thing to happen today? Let's do that. Let's get on good vibes. What's the ill thing to happen today?
Best thing that happened today? 2 of my meetings got canceled for work, so I have to join no meetings. I don't know about y'all. I love when I don't gotta talk to people if I don't want to.
Oh shit, that's a bad thing for me. I'm in sales. They cancel. That call. Nah, but that's what's up, though. I was gonna say we also another good thing that happened to us across the board. We had a great conversation with a great organization. We had a conversation with Life Camp. We're gonna be more situated. We're gonna make sure that we get in tune with the community. We're gonna do more things for our kids out there. We don't just talk it, we walk it. So I'm really excited about that. And we got an in person. We got a joint coming up May 29th. Black at Can again, Park Avenue. We're doing that again. We got a panel member already, man. We're not gonna spoil it, but we're gonna make this shit happen. And who else but us, man? When y'all see who we do or who we bring through and what we pull off with the resources we got.
I ain't have a great day. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Today was leg day. A nigga's hurting.
You got now you got the legs.
Fucking legs is like noodles right now. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. This is why motherfuckers walk around looking like Mr. Incredible, man. This legs is no fucking joke. Fact, bro. Fact. Yeah. Legs is no fucking joke. But yeah, man. Other than that, though, not just being funny with the workout shit, but definitely, man. Grateful that we are able to be in these rooms and have these conversations with other organizations that are like-minded. All right, that have the same goal and the same vision as us, and that they're taking the time to reach out to us, and we're reaching out to them, and they're being receptive. And the answer is, how do we work together? So I'm appreciative of that, man. So anytime we can have conversations like that, it's a good day. You know what I'm saying? So you know what it is, man. So with that being said, listen, you know how we like to start the motherfucking show. Let me get this energy pumping because we're about to get crazy on this. You know what I mean? G&T, listen, the other day, grateful and thankful, it was our man A.B. Butler's birthday, man. So we're going to dedicate this show to the life and the legacy. He's still alive. A.B. Butler, man. Happy B-Day, man. You know what I'm saying? We love you, man. We appreciate you, man. We're grateful that you're still here. We're thankful that your procedure went well and you're at home, surrounded by loved ones, people coming over, checking in on you. You understand? You checking in on us. I don't know why the fuck you checking in on us when you the sick one, but it's just a testament to the person that you are. So G&T today dedicated to our brother, and we mean that. We don't say that shit lightly. A.B. Butler, yo, happy birthday, beloved. You know what I'm saying? Wishing you more life, man, and just, you know, just more blessings, man, for real. G&T, AB Butler in the building.
The fact that he called us. We like, yo, when do we call? He just had the surgery. We like, yo, when is it appropriate to call him? You know, we want to make sure we check on him. He the only line we got, so we making sure he get his rest and all that. He called us like, yo, I'm good. You good? You need anything? I'm like, yo, you good? Yo, that's the type of person he is, man. We love your soul, bro. Like real shit, man. You're a good brother, man. We're definitely dedicated to you. And we're going, you already know, always start how we start. Shout out to the Live Podcast Network, the first women-owned, black-owned podcast network. If you want more content for More Than a Title, you know, more the content like More Than a Title, make sure you take out your phone, scan the QR code, download the app, and half of your subscription goes to the content creator of your choice. Hopefully it's us because you're rocking with us. You know what it is. Shout out to Angel and the entire team. What a time to be alive.
See, AB Butler, perfect timing. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive.
That's a fact, though.
That's a fact.
And with that said, you know,
let's start the show.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
I want to start. Let's start off because cute and simple. I don't know if y'all heard, but I know Chadeo is definitely a comic nerd. Ironheart drops on Disney Plus June 24th. First black woman lead in Marvel. What are y'all thoughts? I'm not.
Yeah. I love it.
Shout out to Dominique. Like, she is a phenomenal actor. Y'all probably saw her in Wakanda Forever. That's when she made her cameo as Ironheart. Yeah, I'm hyped.
I want to see the trailer and all that.
I'm gonna put this out there, and I'm gonna just keep it 100, and I want to put it out there. I hope that they actually took the time to write this script well.
Yeah.
I hope they took the time to write. Don't just give us a fucking bone. Don't throw us no bullshit. Don't have the first black lead in the worst fucking comic movie ever made, like Madam Web was, type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah. We not trying to have no garbage like that. I hope they took the time to curate this project properly. I hope the script was written well. I hope it was shot well so that we can finally be portrayed in a great light and she gets a chance to portray her great acting skills, right? And we can move this thing forward. You know what I'm saying? I just hope it's not a disaster and it's not a just let me just throw something out for the brown and black people so they can shut the fuck up.
Let's say worst case scenario it is, right? We had this conversation all the time, right? So let's say it is, right? Let's say they try to throw us a bone. We gotta support that shit. Even if it is the worst. Like real talk. Even if the storyline's bad, we gotta go out there and make sure it do Sinners numbers.
Yeah, but see, I knew you was gonna do that. But see, that's the problem. That's the problem, because here's the thing with our community. Well, hold on, here we go. I'm excited to see us on screen. There it is. You see? Hey, there it is.
Love. Shout out to you.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. It's like album sales. The problem is it's coming out after Sinners. You see? If it came out before Sinners, you wouldn't have Sinners to relate it to. You see what I'm saying? You wouldn't. If it came out before, you know, Black Panther with a black lead, you wouldn't have that to relate it to. Now that it's coming after these mega hits, that's a problem, because now it's going to get scrutinized super heavy. And if it doesn't hold up, unfortunately, this is what we talk about. If it doesn't hold up, it's going to be obvious now. That's we're not going to be able to be like, yeah, it was just as good.
That's the other thing. It's not coming out in theaters. It's only being premiered on Disney Plus.
But I'm just
but that, like, it's not gonna make it to the. It's not even making it to the silver screen.
Why is that? I'm thinking about it from a business perspective. Why is that? I know they want to get their subscribers up. They're trying to get their stock numbers up. They're trying to show the
exclusive content.
Yeah, they could be exclusive content, but why that?
Well, it's the same thing they did with what's her name? Now I'm losing it in my mind. The other movie. Oh my god! Now I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, no, but I don't hear them doing too many exclusive releases, right? Netflix might have a Netflix only joint. I don't really hear Disney doing that.
No, they do.
So like the Star Wars shit like that.
No, a lot more than that. So just look at it this way. And you'll understand it better this way. Okay. Look at it like video games, right? Like PlayStation has PlayStation only releases. right? And Xbox has Xbox only releases. So look at it just like that. This is like a Disney Plus only release, like you said, to get their subscribers up, get them to come to the Disney platform, that type of a situation.
But that's a business model for the developer of the game, right? I should be able to be cross-platform, and I should be, as the director, the film producer, and all that, you should be pumping me. I should be as visible as possible. Why is that?
Yes and no, but yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no.
I'm curious what y'all think.
Exclusivity brings
exclusivity.
Exclusivity.
Excuse me. Exclusivity brings. I
don't know. Wait, why you saying it? Exclusivity.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Yeah, no problem. Exclusivity brings it helps to bring brand loyalty. You understand what I'm saying? It helps to bring brand loyalty to a specific brand, right? Because if you want it, you have to rock with us. And then now it kind of sets the standard to say we're going to be known for this, exclusive type material. Now you can have a G2.
Prime does too, yeah.
Prime does. It's Prime.
Right.
And that was good.
So I think like what you call it, like I think it's called Pretty Little Fires or something like that. Didn't that just come out? It came out a couple years ago on Prime with what's her name? Kerry Washington. Did you see that one?
Nah, that sounds like
I didn't see that one though.
I think it's called like Pretty Little Fires or something like that. But again, but like I said, most people know gaming and sports. That's why I related it to that. So perfect example, Xbox, Halo, right? Halo is an Xbox only. You want Halo, you go to Xbox. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Stuff like that. There are cross-platform games, but sometimes you make that deal where it's like, I want to be exclusive. I want to build this partnership. We don't know what the conversations look like, but it does bring loyalty to that brand. That's all I'm saying.
But no, you're absolutely. Yeah. That's why I bring that conversation up, right? This might be a conversation that we come across. How do you negotiate the deal from an exclusivity standpoint, right? Why don't I want to be on this one platform? Because my value I'm bringing to you is I'm bringing my audience so they can subscribe, they could come here, and they could be lifetime. It's LTV, lifetime customer value. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you're trying to do. So I get it from that perspective. It's just why and what releases. Why are you choosing this one versus a motherfucking that one? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are the metrics are they holding that to say this has to be an exclusive? And I don't know Ironheart. I'm gonna keep it real. So I don't know.
Yeah,
so,
it's off the Marvel. It's off the Marvel universe. It's off the Marvel universe. So for all y'all that don't know, she's a call it a superhuman or a mutant from the Marvel. It's not DC, it's Marvel. So that's a lot of people confuse it. This is not a DC release. This is a Marvel release. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? And the only thing I can say to that, Cuzzo, is this, right? One of the possibilities that can happen is the brand, right, whoever it is, can approach you and say, we want to develop exclusive content for our joint. So we have More Than a Title, but let's say a brand comes to us, Netflix or whoever, says, we love More Than a Title, but we want a spin-off of More Than a Title, an exclusive segment that they can only get here. We're going to fund it. We're going to produce it. We're going to do everything that needs to get it off the ground, whatever. Are you interested, yes or no? Now, at that point, you can say yes or no. That's what I'm saying. I think that's a possibility. I don't know how to deal with structured or how you know what I mean.
How do you feel about that? So it's like if they come to exclusivity. I'm thinking personally, like I want more visibility. How do we know, right? And how do we negotiate that number to make sure that we get market value? How do we make sure?
Yeah, see, for me, I feel like they felt that the numbers may not do as well to go big screen.
I can see that too.
I could beg to differ that because, like I said, Madam Web was absolutely fucking terrible. It's probably the worst. It's actually the worst Marvel depiction to come out of that studio. It's absolutely fucking terrible. From the acting to the writing of it, absolutely fucking terrible. The whole entire movie is fucking terrible. And the reviews are absolutely disgusting on that. Like, are you kidding me?
I have no clue.
So, and that shit went to the big screen.
So
I'm just saying.
You're not wrong. I'm just saying. Culturally, statistically, how things play out.
I'll leave it with this, ladies and gentlemen of the jury out there. Any brands want to work with us? Just understand that we will take the meeting. We'll take the meeting. Yeah. So no matter what we say on this, show. We laugh, we joke. This is just our opinions, but understand if we do get approached, understand that we will be willing to sit down, hear you guys out, and take the meeting, and then we'll collectively decide what's best for our brand, your brand, and what that partnership can look like.
Yeah, and just know mama ain't raised no fool. Right. Yeah. So at the end of the day, exclusivity comes with a different price, right? So if you want me to only come to your platform, we're bringing you subscribers at a lifetime customer value, right? We got to think about our customer base and how do we get new customers. If you're not helping us get net new customers, then that number changes. So just let y'all know, we on point. We on Dindoos and all that, but we on point. We on point.
Yeah, I mean,
our business.
It could go, right? It could be that they didn't think it was going to do numbers, or right, they're trying to get more subscribers to Disney Plus. Because people, people generally there's always some sort of boycott going against Disney because, ethics reasons, personal reasons, whatever. So, everyone's always on a rebrand journey. So this may be part of the next step of their rebrand. Because I also know Disney, they're opening a park in Dubai. I don't know if that's
the Middle East park. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but see, here's the problem. Here's the problem. Here's the fucking problem. They're fucking Disney. Do you understand? Like, do you understand?
Yeah.
Like, I hear what Cuzzo's saying. Mama ain't raised no fool, blah, blah, blah. They could be like, nigga, we Disney. You know what we do. You get a hit show with us and to the moon. Like, they're Disney. It's almost like
I love the Ryan Coogler.
They're not Netflix. Even Netflix can say that at this point. Yeah. They're Disney.
Like, what is our tagline? Disney could have threw a bag at Ryan Coogler and said, you know what, we're gonna do Sinners and da da. He felt the number wasn't right. I'm gonna bet on myself. I'm gonna do this. And he actually went and negotiated with the studio and said, yo, I need equity after 20 years. So when this comes back and everybody talking about it, when it's in streaming. So I'm just saying for us, that's what we gotta think about, bro. I don't give a fuck if you Disney, Max, I don't care who you is. Our business gotta be correct. If it ain't, it's on us, not them. Because motherfuckers just gonna do what you just said. That's Disney and get googly-eyed and then take the bag. No. And that's not what we do.
Well. Again, we are open to having the negotiation, but understand there has to be a first. That's not Ryan's first film. If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. Ryan can talk that talk because he can say I did this, and this, that did this, and this. Now they can talk real dollars, real numbers, blah blah blah. Now. You have to start somewhere. That's all I'm saying. So no, sometimes you gotta bite the butt. It might not be the best deal. But
Disney's coming to us, right? They coming to us, right? It's a different conversation. If it's on Disney, it's a different conversation.
Then you call us tomorrow. We ready to sit down.
That's what I'm saying. They call me. Like Disney called me.
Okay.
And since I ain't gonna front, I just noticed you got the door now because I like that.
This was my first little, because I don't know if I was not allowed to have these as a kid. Like all my big cousins, when I got me a pair, I was like, oh yeah,
it is. I like it.
I like it a lot.
I like it.
So shit, where we going next with it? Where we? I want to do a quick topic. That was a good one. We got a lot.
We got a lot on the list.
Okay, now Des, what's our next topic?
Well, since we're already on the topic of Black women, let's bring ourselves to Times Square. I know you got a picture of that beautiful statue.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, you want to talk about it? You intro it up. You want me?
I didn't hear about this. See, I brought it up, so I'm glad to hear this. Straight up.
So ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you guys have been, paying attention to the news, because obviously this is something that they didn't. This is a perfect example of the media not putting something that portrays us in a positive manner or something like that into the mainstream fold of them talking about it and them running in the news cycles where they would make sure that everybody knows about it. It did get covered. This is a 12-foot bronze statue that they had commissioned and actually put up in Times Square, right? Which I think is a very powerful win. It's a statement because it's an ethnic statue, right? We all know, or maybe everybody doesn't know, we all know the history when it comes to statues and how this country feels about ethnic statues versus, you understand what I'm saying, non-ethnic statues. So I think this is a beautiful depiction of what the artist wanted to do. And it's a statement, man. And of course, it's getting mixed reviews up there. We'd love to hear your comments on it. I'm personally going to go down there and take a picture with it because I think it's history. And I would love to, because messing with Trump, man, this shit might go down next. He might have this shit taken down next week. I'm not even gonna lie. Huh?
Let that shit go across his desk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not even lying to you. Like, what he's already dismantling so many things from the Black culture, the museum, the Black Lives Matter thing in DC. I mean, just everything. So you never know. He might get a hair up his ass because he didn't, get invited to the Met Gala. So he might be like, nah, we're not having no statue in Times Square. But beautiful representation of a Black woman in Times Square, right? Where technically the money is, right? 12 foot, so it's not a small statue. It's a 12-foot statue. So this thing is clearly visible. And I like it, man. I think it's a small win for the culture.
I love this.
Yeah.
As an artist, like I love what it says. I love every intention to detail, because this kind of artwork, like there's a lot of planning, especially anything that goes like in public art. There is so much planning. There's so many things like checks and balances you have to go through. So for this to make it all the way to the end and this is the final result, like that makes me so proud, because at the end of the day, like art is social action.
Yeah.
And this is a beautiful, beautiful, peaceful protest that I approve of this message. It's not just any Black woman. This is a full-figured Black woman, and she's in just some nice, simple clothing. Like that speaks so much volume.
So what's your interpretation? What's your interpretation, sis, as a Black woman? What when you saw this, what was the first thing that came to your mind as an artist and a Black woman?
Representation. You can finally see yourself in art. Like unless you go to that small, like most museums, unless you go to the Africana section, right? Because first of all, there's not many museums dedicated just to Black, African, Indigenous art. So to see some, right, art imitates life. So to just see something so simple, I think is so beautiful, because that is the woman that you see. That's the kind of woman I see every day. To see everyday woman erected as a statue, I think is so powerful. Like that's the message I see. Like you are beautiful just as you are. Period. Full stop.
That's a fact. But who set this initiative up? Do we know?
No, but the artist that designed it is Thomas J. Prince.
Yeah.
Thomas J. Prince designed it. And I love the title, man. The title is Grounded in the Stars. That's the title of the statue, is called Grounded in the Stars. So I agree with Nadege, man. I'm glad that they, with image being so prevalent and how people are judging what is beauty and what is Black beauty nowadays, I'm so happy that they really didn't distort this thing and make it just look like, this looks like the average everyday mom, everyday auntie, everyday woman that you could see next door. And I'm just really happy that, like you said, Nadege, she's in regular plain clothes, and so simple, so basic, so powerful that they didn't distort this thing and just try to make a super curvy and make it unrelatable. Because our young generations are paying attention to this. This is symbolism at its best, right? So now people get to walk by and see this and be like, yeah, this is what beauty actually looks like, right? Beauty comes in all shapes, sizes, right? And colors and things of that nature. So I absolutely love it, man.
I love it, man. I guess that gets thumbs up for me. I nailed it. I ain't gonna hone in on that. You know what it represents for us. And more so also than a statue too, that I think is equally important, is where they put the statue.
Oh, absolutely.
Equally important is where they put the statue. The fact that I love is a 12-foot statue of a Black woman, but they put it in Times Square, one of the most visited tourist attractions in New York, period. You know what I'm saying? So for that to be the representation of what our city is, it speaks for diversity, speaks for representation, the culture, all of that's a major win. Only thing that I'm sad about is that I'm just hearing it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm keeping it funky. I didn't hear about this shit until like 20 minutes before we started, y'all. Keeping it a bean. I didn't see it. I'm on the joint. I'm at work trying to find a fucking article. I'm trying to find something to keep my mind off the shits. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't hear about it. So I would love
it goes back to the conversation we just had with Steve. It goes back to that exact conversation. How do they represent us, right? Who is pushing the narrative? This is a perfect example of why didn't you hear about it? Well, you didn't hear about it because it wasn't trending on your feed. It wasn't trending on your For You page, on social media, on CNN. Or if it was trending.
Why wasn't it, bro? Because we're not talking about it. Us.
Yeah.
Fuck them. We're not talking. I haven't seen them. I know everything that's happening otherwise. I did not see not one black woman or black man put this across my feed, and that's a problem when you got 15,000 followers, whatever the shit you got.
No arguments from me on that.
Yeah.
Why is that? Word of mouth. Sinners became hot because while we was talking about it, I couldn't get it off my feed. I couldn't get Sinners off my feet. Oh, this, that. Michael B. Jordan, how much money they make. I could tell you everything about that goddamn movie and without researching it. But something like a 12-foot statue in the middle of town fucking square, I didn't see nothing, no shade room, no baller alert, no nothing that's fucking going and giving content to the culture. Nobody spoke about that. That's corny.
Well, I don't want to say nobody spoke about it. I'm just going to say I didn't hear about it. Right. Yeah, I didn't see it on their feed. Again, just being devil's advocate to that, Shade Room, Baller Alert, they post 20 to 50, 100 maybe posts a day. So it is possible they covered it. I'm just saying I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. We love Shade Room. Shout out to the Shade Room.
I saw it on TikTok.
Huh?
I found it. I saw it on TikTok.
Okay.
I'm gonna get y'all on. I'm gonna work on the algorithm. We're gonna get your algorithm to.
No, my shit. You what? My algorithm? Where's my damn sound? You know what I'm saying? Where's my damn sound?
What sound you looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for the I'm looking for black y'all, and I'm black y'all, and I'm damn algorithm.
I'm not gonna...
And I didn't see it, so I'm just saying, y'all, you know.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, and I'm not being funny, I'm just gonna put this out there because sometimes the culture is fucking ignorant. Please, I'm gonna say it right now. Please don't be the ignorant ass.
Come on.
Don't be the fucking ignorant ass that's looking to go viral, that's looking for attention and go down there and do anything to deface this fucking statue. Because there's always a fucking ignorant motherfucker that might go down there and try to put a flag on her or spray paint her or you know what I'm saying? Deface this statue in any way. I'm warning you now, like, don't put yourself in a position to probably get your ass whipped by a bunch of random motherfuckers or worse and have the culture go upside your head and then you turn around and apologize and say, oh, I didn't know, it was insensitive and all that stupid shit. Please don't be the ignorant ass motherfucker that's looking for attention or looking to go viral and you go out there and do something insensitive and fucking stupid. So I'm just going to put it out there now.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. But we got to treat it like that too as a culture. We got to treat it like that. We don't get many things like that. And that's a powerful message for us. We got to protect the same way we protect each other. You know what I'm saying? That's a real fact though. You know what I mean? And where else we going? Because I'm feeling positive with the coach. I don't want to hit us with no bad topic. Bad topic. I'm kind of. We got a couple of sad topics that we got.
We got some heavy hitters lined up.
Positive? Positive. You got Nadege? You got something positive?
We do the good then the bad.
We got.
I like that news. That Trump news. I don't know. We was gonna talk about Diddy. We're gonna wait for that later. We're gonna wait for that later.
I don't know, man. See,
Met Gala, G?
Huh? I mean,
just talk about the Met Gala.
I mean, I feel like that is in its own way.
Okay, go ahead. Not that.
Trump not being allowed to the Met Gala, I absolutely agree. That man don't have no fashion. He ain't got no sense. Period. We're
gonna get back to you. We're gonna get back to you. Trump. We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
That's my fault, sis. Go ahead.
No,
you'll have to look like what the hell you said.
Oh, okay, yeah. We gonna circle back to that one because I want positive news. But yeah, Trump is banned from the Met Gala. I know we spoke about Met Gala on Tuesday. I'll give my kudos to Miss
Banned.
I completely agree with her decision because the level of incompetence that comes from that man, I can't. So I'm gonna let y'all. Yeah, what y'all think about it? What y'all think?
I don't think he's incompetent. I don't think he's incompetent.
3 things I don't talk about: sex, politics, religion.
I don't think he's incompetent at all. I think he's very competent. I think he's very competent. I think he knows exactly what he says and exactly what the fuck he's doing. I think he's even calculated. He knows. He knows how to go viral. He knows how to be the center of attention. He knows what's gonna fucking put everybody in the uproar, and he just says that shit. No filter.
No, it's weaponized incompetence.
Yeah.
Which
I was watching some shit the other day. I
Has his
watched
face,
some
and it's not
yesterday.
at the Met Gala. So
It ties back into Trump. I was watching the Vince McMahon documentary. I don't know if y'all saw that shit.
Which part?
WWF. He was in WrestleMania.
Which part? The
All five. If you never watched it, just watch it.
Yeah.
It's some fuck shit in there, but it's a business masterclass and a marketing masterclass of how he took a small brand, took mad risk, and ended up really winning big on it and turning into a $1 billion company. Like, so regardless of the story, but like Trump was, I'm looking at, he actually had a fight with Vince McMahon in 2012, and we voted this man as like, that don't tell you the power of branding and marketing and being a persona. And that just kind of scares me too, because if you're a good enough persona, you can be, I heard Stephen A. Smith might run for presidency. You heard about that?
No, but I just want to jump in and just add a little bit more context to the Vince McMahon story. One major part to that is the fact that Vince McMahon didn't get the business passed down to him from his father, right? This is a family business, but that man went to fucking work. Be clear, his father was an asshole. Vince McMahon Sr., like he was he's an asshole. Vince had to go to work and he didn't get handed shit. You understand? And when he decided to take the WWE in the direction that he did, a lot of the decisions that he made, it almost got him killed. Like death threats, and they was calling his pops like, yo, you better calm your son down. He don't know what the fuck. And he like, I ain't doing shit. If that's what he want to do, he earned his respect. So I just mentioned that, right? It's a masterclass. And you
didn't see it, sis. So basically, before WWF, it was everybody had wrestling in certain territories. So you had New York, the thing about Hot 97, like they're like New York, Connecticut, boom. That's the WWF. You go down south, it's another one. It's like radio stations. So he said when he got the business, he said, why the fuck am I doing this regional shit? Why am I doing anything regional? I'm going to take, and he went to every person's territory, took the biggest star, had them performing in front of a bigger crowd, got them more marketing, and took them on tour. And that's where the death threats came.
He poached them.
Wow.
Like, you got to be ruthless in business. It's business.
It's a master class on business. You're right.
No, it's definitely a fucking master. It is definitely a master class on do's and don'ts. And they let you know a lot of shit he did that went good and a lot of shit he did that went fucking bad. But it's definitely a master class in business. But like I said, I just wanted to reiterate that, because a lot of people think that he's a Nepo baby and he was just handed that, and daddy gave him and that was not the case. Like even the wrestlers will tell you how his father was, and like they'll tell you firsthand, like, nah, he went through the fire. So started out an announcer and then doing this, and it was like this man was not given the keys to the kingdom. He actually fucking fought for every piece that he got. So I respect the shit out of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But so talking about the Met Gala, not even about Trump. I want to just give a huge shout out to Anna Wintour for handling it the way she handled it, with the class and poise that is just Anna Wintour. And she was, and just her answer to it, because for anybody that doesn't know, of course, Trump went on another tirade because he wasn't invited. He can't come. Kamala Harris was there, so of course he's going to chime in on what he felt she looked like and this and that, but it didn't stop with her. If you listen to the interview and not just sound bites, but listen to the entire interview of him talking about it, right? He actually attacked the culture and tried to absolutely discredit the Met. All of a sudden now, like if you would have went there, then it would have had full accreditation. But now that you are not allowed there, he actually tried to discredit it. Oh, it's just this. Oh, it's just that. Threatened to pull funding and taxes, the same bully shit that he did with Harvard and everybody else. He is sending a clear and concise message: kiss the fucking ring, bow down, and if you don't, you're an enemy of the state. That's the message that he's sending. But shout out to Anna Wintour for handling that shit with poise and just fucking, being who she is. And that's why she's been in a position that she's been in and respected for so long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm happy because I ain't want to see his fucking. You ain't got no fucking style anyway, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck was you gonna wear? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never seen Trump fly. Ever. Like, ever. I've never seen him wear a suit, a jogger, nothing that I'm like, that was dope. You could barely get your fucking hairdo right, homie. Like, who the fuck is your stylist or who the fuck is like? So please, what the fuck would you be doing at the Met Gala anyway, bro?
He doesn't have to care because the brand he has curated for himself is clearly working for him.
Yeah, he never lie. Shit. That's why we talk about branding and marketing. He's a big personality. Yes, he is leaning toward that totalitarian, you know what I mean? Like that mindset where it's like, yeah, I'm a dictator and all that other shit. But like he went into this shit at the Met. I'm glad that we still standing on business across the board. Wherever they are, you know what I'm saying? I'm just glad they are standing on business, and we seen a lot of brands not stand on business, and that's why y'all getting effed up right now because you're not standing on business. We see everything as consumers. We see everything as citizens. We see everything. You know what I'm saying? So how you act in this moment is going to determine how we gonna act to you later in life.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's never been a time where the Black community has been on the wrong side of history. So there's never been a time. Name a time in Black culture has been on the wrong side of history.
Wait, the culture?
Black people, Black people have not been on the wrong side of history.
I think you have to be more specific on clarify that. Right, yeah. In
American culture, when has Black people been on the wrong side of history?
For most of history. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like you got to be more specific. Like when you say like the wrong
when
side.
When have we been on the wrong? Like where we're in the wrong.
Okay,
that's what I mean by the wrong side of history.
Okay.
Not the winning side.
No, it's not. No, I'm not saying winning or losing. When I say the wrong side of history, meaning like the benefits.
No, when I say wrong, like being right or wrong. When we look back at history, we have been wronged, but we are not wrong. We have not been wrong.
Message. I think that's something to think about. I think that's something to think about. I'm not a historian, but I think that's something to think about.
Yeah. So when these brands decide to go against Black culture, when they want to shut down their DEI, you've seen the proof. Now, what I think is going to come out of this season of wrongdoing. What did you say?
Nah, you froze. I'm like, nah, you
froze. No, you froze. You froze.
What? Oh no,
we did for you froze. Yeah, keep trying to blame everything. No, you froze.
Oh no.
You was like there for like 3 seconds.
No, you okay, right? I was like, that's why I stopped talking. I was like, you good? Yeah, all I'm saying is, you froze. People are gonna be who they are, and history is always time's gonna tell, because that's what it does. Time will always reveal the truth.
Okay. Again, I think it's a powerful statement.
Yeah.
I think it's worth. I think it's a conversation starter, which is what we need.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll take it one step further. I think it's a conversation starter. I think you say that and you will definitely get the wheels spinning and people thinking about it. And I think it's a great conversation piece. But I think it can only be had by people that are truly intellectual and actually like have studied and know what the fuck they're talking about, not people that just listen to rhetoric and, are ignorant and just want to say some shit again for shock value. But I think it's a great conversation starter.
And definitely wrong side.
Right. See, that's what I said. That's why I said, like, you got to be specific on what you mean by this, because it's definitely a conversation starter. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we've been on the wrong side. Like I said, when you say like the wrong side of history, I just think about history itself.
Okay.
And the story of Black and brown people and where we've been during history, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of the changes, the booms, the industrial, the this, the that. Where have we been? Have we benefited from it? You understand? Like when you say on the wrong side, I'm like, shit, that's why I'm like, what part are we talking about? Because when you say something like that, then I start thinking like, what side was we on in the development of this country and the development of culture and development of, you understand? Like, and that's why I said that, because I'm like, shit, we ain't never been on we still trying to get on the right side of this vibe.
And see, you're thinking of it in the sense of results. I'm thinking morally. Morally, we've never been on the wrong side.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
We've never been on the wrong. So, but that's the thing, right? So, interpreting language, right? You're considering it in the sense of what is the benefit and the outcome of the history. I'm saying morally, if you look back at history, if we had followed and listened to Black people, would have been better outcomes for the majority. But when we don't, there's only benefit of majority for the few.
Message. I mean, again, I listen. I can go for that because a lot of the major inventions and things of that nature that we have today are invented by Black people. We all know when they finally let Black people participate in the armed forces, what was our accomplishments and what was our, you know what I'm saying? What was the benefit of having Black soldiers? So we all know the stories of when you actually let us in and let us do our thing, what happened. So that's why I said, like, yeah, it's a great conversation piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
This nigga Dot trying to turn this shit into Kevin Samuels.
What do you say? About joining the feminist movement was wrong for us because it was a whole way. Oh,
you trying to turn this shit into Kevin
Samuels. This may be controversial, but I think
go for it.
When it comes to feminism and Black women joining, the issue is and this is my interpretation of the issue from my education, is that white women see themselves white first, and then they see themselves as a woman. So they'll always align with whiteness as their priority. Where Black women have to consistently be forced to decide whether they see themselves as women first or Black first. Because when it comes to the Black movement, Black men see themselves as men first, and then they see themselves as Black. What should you see yourself as first? Should you align yourself with women first, women issues? Should you align yourself with Black issues first? Because sometimes those issues do butt heads.
I mean, if I'm a fundamental type person, how could you, before you can identify with any culture, before you can identify with any race, color, whatever religion, you are still male or female. So my answer would be identify with what you are first. If you are a woman, then identify as a woman first. I'm a man, I'm going to identify as a man first, and then whatever comes behind that, because you are born a blank sheet, but you're still a woman or a man, right? Yes or no? So that would be my take on it. Identify as what you are first, as a human being, and then add the source on top of it. I'm just saying, that's just my take on it. That's
when it gets tricky. That's the gray area.
That's where the issue lies. Because when you think about Black issues, right? If you think about the history of Black issues, there have been a lot of men leaders, and they've prioritized how the issue should be addressed based on them being men and then their Blackness, and then including Black women into that, and expecting them to just follow along. When Black women, again, if they don't fully align, because the mindset is because men are thinking like men. So when Black women join the cause or join the issue, there's this cognitive dissonance of understanding how can we be unified together. Black women have always had to just follow the lead of Black men in leading in those issues. And then when you think about what Black women trying to do, lead with feminism, it's okay, we want to be women, we want women to come together, but white women will always associate themselves with whiteness first.
Okay.
So Black women always get put back to the sidelines on both issues. So Black women are in a consistent struggle of trying to unite those identities to push the agenda forward, but Black women don't usually get listened to.
My only problem with that, here's my only problem for what Dot said, to address what Dot. Can we bring up Dot's comments, Cuzzo?
Yeah.
Black issues should come before gender. Okay, Dot. Real quick, there's a distinction between nationality and ethnicity, right? So let's start there. There's a difference between nationality, ethnicity, etc. If you take a baby that is born African American, but you don't raise him in a Black culture, you raise him in a white culture, then all that baby understands is white culture. It doesn't, if you don't have no Black people around, yes, their skin tone is Black, their heritage, they are Black, but they only understand white culture. So now when let's say we have this conversation with a Black child, and there's a lot of Black children that are raised in white cultures, right? Where they don't relate to Black people. I'm going to take it a step further. That's why there's a big disconnect between Africans from Africa and African Americans, right? Where Africans feel like they're black, but African Americans, they feel like we don't relate. They feel like we are completely different, right? Once again, if you're raised in a society or economic structure that doesn't teach you what your lineage is, and you only understand something else, your programming, then naturally you have to go with your programming first until you educate yourself to know the difference. But before the programming, you still are the two primary gender roles that human beings are, a male or female. That's why I say that.
Okay. I got a comment on my Instagram. Yes. Feminism is needed, but we as Black women should have to put Black feminism first.
I agree with that.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Okay. I agree with that.
Okay.
But one thing I did want to touch on, you said, right, like us as Black men, we see ourselves as men first. Where did y'all get that from?
Say it again.
Because when it comes to,
you like,
no, and that's totally fine. I'm totally right. When it comes to like issues of Black men and women in our own community, men will put their issues first. But that's how we've been coded. So I'm not saying like, oh, it's all your fault, but that's how we've been coded. If you think about it, right? Women have always like put men's emotions first, right? How many times your mama withheld information from you to make your feelings feel better? Or how many times have women like been in the corner, hush hush, and don't tell men about things that are going on, right? And even like, right, men today, not broad brush, stating broad brush.
I'm with you.
Men are like, oh well, back in the day, you know, our grandparents stayed together forever. Your grandma couldn't own a credit card. That's why she stayed with that man. Like, they had a lot of issues.
Now you gotta get in your ass.
No. What I'm talking about is the rights of women in general.
In general.
I know exactly where she's going. She's absolutely correct talking about the rights of women in general. What I'm saying is, I'm talking about physiology, right?
Okay.
Once again, it's not about my issues. It's not about my issues as a Black man and what I go through in my culture and my economically in society. I'm talking about being born a man or a male. Let's say a male, right? And understanding just the evolution of a baby into a child and teenager or whatever into a young man. You're always gonna have to figure that out first before you can figure anything else out. That's what I'm talking about. That's all I'm saying.
No, and that's understandable.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Note, right? My belief is right. Everything is a spectrum. So I agree with you in the sense of like understanding your gender and and connecting with your identity, right? That is the first journey you go on, whether you are trans, bisexual, or you are asexual, or any sort of gender identity that you associate with. That's right. That's what I feel like people do deal with. But I think in regards to like Blackness, that's another tier of identity that
absolutely
Black people in America do have to like figure out. Just like you said, a Black person, and I've spoken to like people who are Black children who are adopted by white parents and were only experiencing that kind of culture, and then having to like basically rewire their brain to understand like their identity and culture that they want to experience. Because some people, because you know, once we become adults, everything's a choice.
Absolutely. I just think we deal with the same shit as men. I just feel like sometimes, and I definitely I understand what Black women go through, and I also just want Black women to understand what we go through as Black men. We are the ones that got to be the protectors and go through a lot of shit, and the shit that we go through be a lot difficult. You know what I'm trying to say? Being the protectors, being the providers. A lot of us didn't have that mode. I can say I had the role model figure that a lot of us don't have that, right? They don't have to say, yo, this is what it is. And then when we get in these rooms, we ain't getting the same respect that y'all ain't getting. That's a fact.
Yeah.
In corporate, especially in business, especially in a lot of shit, we're not getting that same respect. So we are trying to make, when you say like we put men first, I think it's a different fight. Like I think we lead with both. I'm gonna be honest, I know me personally, I lead with both. I'm a Black man first. Like that's why it's more than a title. Motherfucker, I'm Black. This is my culture. This is
I agree. I think there are a lot of individuals out there who do. They try, like, because I do believe we can address more than one issue at a time.
Absolutely.
I think we've been coached and trained through history to be like, oh, we got to focus on one issue at a time. We got to focus on the Black issue first. No, I think we can focus on. I think we can attack multiple issues. There's more than enough of us to focus on more issues than one at a time.
Definitely agree with that.
No, like I said, I'm with it. I just think certain things are just, you know, I don't like to straddle the fence. You understand what I'm saying? Like, even just think about what you just said, because of us being a protector. Like, who deemed the man the protector, right? Technically, right? We have to go all the way back and say, well, who started that shit to say the man is the protector of woman? It's just physically, we are built different from the woman, right? We don't, you understand? We create life, and the woman gives birth. We create life. Like, women don't create life. We create the life, and the woman gives birth to the life, right? But we're built differently. Women are built to nurture, right? To give life, and it's just physically is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? Now, once you pass that, then yeah, add everything on top. So that's what I was saying. You got to just start with that though. Like,
we gotta slay the buffalo, kill the
yeah,
buffalo.
like, you know what I mean? So even if we don't, again, even if you don't have a
But see, so like historically, actually, everything was pretty equal in prehistoric days. Like, this design of like who is more in the stream of like humanity is actually is a more modern concept.
I disagree. I disagree.
No, if you look,
even animals,
animals
have
if you look at like archaeological digs and stuff, men and women did share work quite equally. Like, there were women hunters, and
I'm not saying they're not, but we're still built differently. Just like there are women workers right now.
Physiologically, yes, but if you look,
what I'm saying. Right. There's women workers, there's women doctors. The
reason we're built anatomically is because of what we got below the hips.
So no, it's more than below the hips. It's more than it's the full package, right? Men are built bigger, physically bigger, right? Again, it's just, if you put a man and a woman that didn't know anything, no socioeconomic influence, anything like into like a vacuum, naturally they would have to figure out who's gonna do what 9 times out of 10 by the guy being bigger physically right off the back, and this and that. He's gonna handle more.
But that's not always the case, because I know plenty of the entire NBA. WNBA is much taller than you, Chad. They're much bigger and probably
but we're not. That's anomalies. That's because there's a small percentage base.
The small percentage in the WNBA,
it's a small percentage. There's 340 million people in the United States. If you did men and women on a chart physically, that number of women that would beat out physically men, it would be like this small.
Lisa Leslie cannot compare to Shaq.
No, but I'm just saying
that's a super anomaly.
No, I'm just saying, just size-wise. That's what I'm saying to you.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a range of sizes based off geographically where you are in the world, and like, I wouldn't say statistically every man is stronger than every woman. No, like, there's a range, because it goes based upon like where, right, your DNA, where you geographically are from, right? Okay. Because there are much larger, stronger women up north in Russia, because that's what they need to be, right?
I don't know. You ever been to Russia? You ever see real Russian dudes?
But you've also seen real Russian women.
Yeah, but they don't compare not to no Ivan Drago and no. You not see 22 of the Russian niggas. Yo, you.
So then my next question is, right? Okay, when we talk about like men are supposed to be the protectors, what are we being protected from?
Say it again.
Polar bears.
No, but again, I'm just talking again. That's what that conversation. The word protector had to be a made-up word. It had to have a definition. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, society's influence. That's why I just said technically, just from the physics of things, muscle density wise, the muscles that we have are built different. It just
we are the protectors. If somebody walk in that door right now, you ain't gonna go to mama, you're gonna go to pops.
My dad's not home right now.
No, I'm just saying that's what happens. Literally, that's the anomaly.
I'm
saying in general. If somebody come in this motherfucking door right now, Mika's not gonna go to the safe. I am.
But Mika could go to the safe if she was trained to.
Am I bugging? We the same. You're too shorter than me, but I'm gonna go see what's up.
I really think it's socialization.
That's just
because you look back at it. Because again, if you look back in history, like there have been plenty of archaeological digs that show men and women are more comparable. It's been socialized. Do I think women do require higher body mass of fat because they do have to give birth. They do have to carry another human life inside of them, right? So that's what I'm saying. Physiologically, anatomically, we are different because of what's below the waist, because we have to reproduce.
But it's not only below the waist, it's above the waist. Why you keep saying below the waist? Like,
Chad, Chad, if I started going to the gym like you, eventually, yeah, I could start building up muscle like you, and I could.
But you see what you just said? If I did this, I could build this. We're talking from birth. We're not talking building. We're talking from birth. You're not born with this. You're born with.
Neither are you. You're not born with this. You had to go to the gym to do that.
No, you don't. No, you don't. There are men that never work out that are still the size that they are. No, I'm just perfect example. Perfect example. Let's just use Jarrett's perfect example. If Shaq never lifted a weight a day in his life, he is still fucking Shaq. He's still 7'2", 300. Whether he's Shaq doesn't look like Dwight Howard. He's not super muscular. That's gym shit. Shaq is 320 of just body mass, like fucking 7. That's what we're talking about. Without working out, we're just talking about that. That's what I'm saying. It's not about working out. It's not about the extra, huh?
But he's an anomaly.
He's not though. There are more tall men. There are more tall, and I would challenge you to do your research and correct me if I'm wrong. I would challenge you. There are more tall men, right? Tall men on average, size, not only height, but weight-wise, than there are women. And I would challenge you to research that. And if I'm wrong, I will say I'm wrong. But genetically, I can't see it. I just can't see it being any other way. I'm just saying.
What?
It can't be an even thing. It's just not that. Some things can be even, whatever, but I'm just saying this is by design. Like, again, I didn't fucking design myself. You didn't design. We are created in however the creator decided to create us. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if he wanted us to be equal or whatever created us to be equal, then I think we would be created more equally, right?
I think we were created equitably.
I don't know. I think it's a conversation.
I think we were absolutely created equitably. And I think that altered socialization and cultural does affect DNA because that has been also shown in data.
I can go for that.
But I ultimately believe like what we consider our binary today has a lot to do with socialization.
I think it's like I said, it's worth a conversation. I think it's worth a conversation. You know what I'm saying? What?
Winter is a good golfer, huh?
What? Hayes, are you smoking?
What else do we have on our topic list? Because we have a lot. Can he re-edit that comment so I understand?
Hayes is smoking.
You're on that Rohan.
It says man, put that comment back up. Man height in inches, 69.9, weight in pounds, 199. Women height in inches, 63.5, weight in pounds, 178, waist circumference in inches. That's what I'm saying. I think on average, that's exactly what I'm saying. On average, women are smaller. On average, I'm talking human beings.
Yeah.
Across the board, women are smaller, height-wise, muscle density-wise. That's all I'm saying. Not a shot. I'm just saying, like,
I just want us to understand the concept of like being a protector and being the stronger person. That's socialization.
Right.
There you go. That's exactly what we was about to get to. That's one of the topics.
Yeah, that's socialization. The concept that like, men have to do this and men have.
I never said that. Oh no, that's what I said.
That's what I was trying to communicate.
Yeah.
That is socialization. That is cultural experiences. That concept. Because again,
but let somebody walk in this door and let Mika handle it. Y'all see how y'all look at me.
I'll be like, you got it, my nigga.
No.
For the record, any woman out there that want to be my protector, well, come on in then.
Hey, yo, you know what I'm saying?
Be clear. My message is not that I want to keep stepping in front of the fucking knife or the bullet or the whatever. You want to go?
Change that way.
Let me live in my soft era.
Don't feel like you have to.
Yo, no. Well, hold on. I'm sorry.
I don't want you to like. If you want to do it because you want to protect your woman, absolutely.
No, I'm a man. I have to protect my woman. I do gotta protect my woman. I do. Let me get one. In my soft man era, I don't like it. I hated that. I got it. You was going off. He said I'm in my soft man era. I couldn't let that. What?
Yeah.
Nah, but shout out to the homie, to King James. They was gonna talk about what we want to talk about. And what's your guys' stance on the Ohio thing that's been going on? Cops killed the son and dad took the revenge.
Okay, so let's talk about it. So let's talk about it because we actually was going to talk about that. That's the topic. He's talking about Rodney Hinton, right? So for anybody that again, we putting you guys on because maybe it's not as mainstream as it should be. We don't know all the facts. We just know that police were called to respond to a stolen car. They tried to initiate a traffic stop with a vehicle they assumed or was told was stolen. Some individuals got out and ran. For whatever reason, the cops thought that one of the individuals had a gun, opened fire, and end up unaliving a child. Okay, this is not. I'm not saying what's right, what's wrong. I'm just saying these are the facts that we were given. That the case is being presented with, and the father found out, the cop that unalived his son found out where he was stationed the next day or so, whatever, and proceeded to unalive him with his vehicle as retribution, payback, an eye for an eye, whatever you want to call it. That is the story on that. Go ahead, Nadege. Let me. I'm curious to see how you feel about it, because the world knows how I give it up. So, but let me you give it up a little bit, like I just want to say something. We're not talking about protector, but the mama didn't do it. His mama didn't. His auntie didn't run that cop.
That was good time.
Grandma didn't come out with the walker and walk. Okay, I'm sorry. That maybe it was too soon. It was too soon.
Wait, hold on. But I just saw something on the article. I don't know if it's true or not. It said it wasn't the exact same cop who killed his son. They just said it was a cop. I just saw that.
Okay, so let's research on it, because I thought it was one of the officers that was actually involved in it.
Yeah, I'm on the seat. Says the Cincinnati News.
Okay,
it said that's like some misinformation. It was claims that Rodney Hinton Jr. killed the officer who killed him. They said the officer is still unnamed, and he ended up killing an unnamed officer while he was sitting in the car.
Why? To my understanding, he was outside directing traffic.
No, it was requested, and no, still waiting to receive full autopsy report, CBD. But it's saying it wasn't the cop. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, they said okay, okay. Yeah. So now, with that information, go ahead, Nadege, tell me how you feel about this thing.
Yep.
I do not have a child.
Okay.
Right there. So I could never, let me say that I cannot right now put myself in the mindset of somebody who has lost their child. I can only say that from what I've witnessed for people like that, the level of despair and anger that rages through you when you lose your child is unfathomable. And to lose your child in a way that, in police brutality, if in today's society, I could not imagine what neurons flip switch to make him react that way. But that level of hurt, I do not wish upon anybody.
Facts.
That is what that was my initial. That's always my initial thought when somebody loses a child. Whew. Because y'all have sons. I could not imagine what neurological snap could happen to you to make you react in that way. But I can. My heart goes out to him.
That's a fact, though. There would be no
somebody personally. I would not personally condone violence. I understand the reaction of violence, because when no more words can be said, that is usually the result. When there are no more words to be had, violence is usually people's next step.
Yeah.
So my heart rate goes out to him. If he's somebody who's going to stand on that business, respect to him for standing on his business. I personally could not retaliate in that way. But if that was the reaction he had, that is the reaction he had. Peace and blessings to him, his family, and all those affected.
I'm gonna tell you, as a Black father, like it hits different as a father. Yeah. It hits different for us knowing that we have kids. Yeah. Like I can't
imagine as a father, like
I couldn't fathom that feeling. Like couldn't fathom what that call was like. I couldn't fathom what the fuck you felt in that moment. It's just blackout.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a good father. The way we stand on business as parents.
Exactly. I could.
And the way we stand on business, no. I'm at every parent-teacher conference. We had every football game, basketball game. We had everything. We doing coding. We doing all that. And you going to take something from and we got goals and aspirations, and you know who they are. It's nothing to talk about. There's absolutely nothing to talk about. Like, and I get it. I don't know the situation in life. Like, who knows where we are in life, right? But as of now, I would have to go. I would have to go. You have no choice. It's not even a conversation. It's not a talk about it. And you just got to stand on that shit, yo. I love my kids way too much. Way too much.
So we're getting comments on Instagram. Before I chime in, I'm going to just read some of the Instagram comments. And this is coming from a female, Nadege. She says, I have a son, and I don't know what I would have done. She feels bad for the father, you know, and, you know, she's feeling for she's a mother, right? And she does, you know, whatever, you know, state of mind that he was in, whatever state of mind that he was in, and she, you know, she understands it as a parent, and she says, you know, Jarrett, she agrees with you. I don't give up. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know how I give it up. Like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I wonder if he has any other kids. If so, I'm against it. I don't believe in crashing out. Crashing out ain't fair to any significant other or your other children.
Okay.
Okay.
And again, Dot, we respect it. You're not a father though, Dot.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not a parent. I don't
that's
know
what I'm saying. So we respect it. We respect it. But when you know, when you decide to start a family, then we'll have a conversation. When you vest 18 years in raising a human being and fucking go through all of what, you know what I mean? Whatever. And then we have this conversation after that. So I respect your opinion, but it's completely one-sided because you don't understand both sides of the spectrum, right? You can only understand one side because you haven't experienced the other. Look, see, on Instagram, they're already saying it like, Chadeo, you already know how you give it up. Webster family. Everybody already know how I give it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Justify, what's that?
Address how you would justify not being there for your other children in chat.
Easy. Because let me tell you something. Again, sometimes a statement must be made. I am more Malcolm than Martin. Plain and fucking simple, right? You might be more Martin than Malcolm. You understand? I think that talking is good. I think that we can have conversations, but I believe as a culture, we've talked way too fucking much. And that's the problem, because we keep talking and there's not enough action behind all of this fucking talking. And this is why culturally we're in the position that we're in, right? Let's use Nadege, what Nadege said. History has shown when Black people decide to take action and stop talking, then we start to change our situations and get into this. That's what history is, right? Because let's just talk about it. If we were slaves and everybody just kept talking about how bad slavery was and never rebelled and never did this, then we'd have never got out of slavery. Think about any position that Black people as a culture, as whatever you want to fucking title you want to put on it, has been in, and we've been wrong. And we've said, Massa, you know you shouldn't be whipping me. You know you shouldn't own me. You know you should. And where did that get us? And whatever the situation is in, all the talking in the world didn't get us anywhere. It was until people started doing marches and whatever the case may be, it's action behind the words. So what he said?
Basically, the other kids.
No,
right?
it's not about that.
It's not that.
It's not about the other kids. So
I'm
telling you once again, Hayes, and I understand. Like I said, I respect your opinion, and it's yours and yours only. I'm telling you right now, me and Cuzzo talk about this on a regular basis. Like, see, this is what we talk about, that protector shit. This is my fucking family. That's my fucking kid. If he did something wrong, hold him accountable. I'm all for that. Right? Now, what I don't agree with, now, here's the difference between me and if this man did something to the wrong person or something like that. Here's my difference where I come in now. If somebody wronged my child and I'm going to take that action, then I'm going to do the due diligence to find out exactly who did what they did. So I don't go and hurt somebody else that's innocent, because then it takes away from the meaning of my action. Right? Then it's a crash out, because then emotionally I just responded and then it becomes that. The message is lost. Because I didn't take the time to do my due diligence, and now I took my emotions out on the wrong person, because then they have a family and then they might be somebody's son, father, whatever the case, and now I took somebody's father away, and then that can perpetuate the cycle further, right? So that's the difference. That's the difference. Now, if we're talking like action, I don't know if you remember this story, Hayes, and I'm a little fuzzy on it, but I don't know what state it was, but there was a cop that ended up unaliving somebody's child, same thing, and the guy hunted him like a dog, and then killed his daughter at prom. Like, did the due diligence, waited for her to go to prom, and then hunted her, and an eye for an eye. Like, okay, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to make you feel the same exact pain that I went through. You took my kid, I'm taking. See, that's completely different. He didn't go and shoot up the school. He didn't go. He went for a specific target and then did what he did. So that's what I'm saying. The message, your actions have to be clear in justifying the message so that the message is not misconstrued in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You understand what I'm saying? Again, I'm not fucking perfect. I used to do a lot of wild, crazy, stupid, dumb shit. I got in trouble for, I got locked up for, all of that shit, right? And guess what? I stood on business, and my parents, you got to do what you got to do. That's not what we talking about. That's not what we talking about here, right? What we're talking about is the injustice of us losing our children to a system that is clearly showing us that they don't give a fuck about our legacy. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And all the talking in the world sometimes is just going to fall on deaf ears. Sometimes it takes action, and it takes action to match the egregious action that was done to make them open up their eyes. One of my favorite sayings, Hayes, so just so we're on the same page, one of my favorite sayings is ignorance only respects ignorance. You ever talk to a real ignorant motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? You in the street, a motherfucker, you try to talk to him, and it's just like no talking to him. But when you show him that you're ready to go to the level that he's ready to go to and above and above and above, then he's like, okay, let's talk about this shit. Then his wheels start, okay, let's kind of calm down. That's what I'm talking about. Because sometimes you have to show a motherfucker more than you could tell him. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
And I love my other child, but once again, those are my children. And my role as a protector, as a father, as a leader, I have to take a stand, right? I have to take a stand, and I have to do what I have to do across the board. And the only thing that I can do if I make an action like that, Hayes, is hope and pray that my other children, whoever they may be, right, respect my decision. But remember, they're my children, and my children don't. I'm not a grandfather, so my children don't have children. So they have a one-sided opinion where they lost their father, but they're not fathers yet. So they don't understand what it is to have a child either. So they're almost in the same exact position that you are in right now, where they can look at it only kind of one-sided. That's it.
That's real, man. And the fact that I know y'all saw it on social media, his family was trying to get in. They wasn't trying to let the family into the courthouse, but it was 1,000 police officers there. Yeah. Like, so what are we thinking about that? What do we think about it? Do you think he's going to let his just do? Do you think the mental insanity is going to play out? How do we see this ending?
Not mental insanity.
I think that's the defense. I don't know yet.
I mean that's if that's their defense, I wouldn't say insanity, but it's a definite solid defense of a mental break.
Yeah,
sure. A mental break. Absolutely. If there ever was a definition to say this would be the case study to say he lost it, absolutely. But this is for the jury, right? This is for the jury that's going to decide it. And you know, more importantly, it's not even a jury. It's who this really is going to come down to. It's the judge. It's the judge. Because I've seen time and time again judges kind of like sway the outcome of the jury by being biased to the cause and instructing the jury to only do this and do that and not allow this. I've seen that happen time and time again.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen time and time again. So this is really going to come down to if the judge is impartial and if the judge is really going to let this shit play out and say, nah, I understand where this family is coming. But so let's talk about it, Hayes. Right off the bat. If you are committed of a crime and you are arrested, you have an arraignment date. Doesn't matter it could be jaywalking. If you get arrested for any reason, you get fingerprinted, you go to the bookings or the county, it doesn't matter. You have an arraignment day, you have to go before a judge. If you don't get what's called a desk appearance ticket. Yeah. It's an open arraignment. Your family can be there. Lawyers can be there. It's an open arraignment. Technically, anybody can walk in there and just sit down, right? But 9 times out of 10, in these arraignments, when they're talking about bail and things of that nature, they want your family there for character references. Yeah. They want people there to support and say, this is his first time, he's a good person, blah, blah, blah. So just let's start with that right there. Yes, if he unalived the police officer, he's not the first person to unalive a police officer. He won't be the last, unfortunately. But why would the judge allow 50, 25, 30, 40, 50 police officers? He's already shackled head to toe. There's court officers that's their job to handle the inmate. Police don't handle inmates in court. Court officers do. See what I'm saying? So if we're going to talk about it, then let's talk about it. Police officers they arrest you, take you to the booking, and when you go through the court system, you are handed over to court officers. That is their job, to handle you while you are in the system. Yep. Now, because he's not upstate where it's correction officers. He's not a ward of the state yet. So why would you allow, right off the back, in an arraignment or a hearing, whatever you wanted to call it, 20, 30, 40, 50 police officers to flood the courtroom, which they're not there in support of him. It's an intimidation tactic. Yeah. And not allow this man's family in there. So right off the back, you are sending a message.
Yes.
That this can't be done. Regardless of the circumstance, this is not acceptable. And you're going to pay a price. That's what the message I got.
No, exactly. And that's why there's a song called Fuck the Police, but not Fuck the Firemen.
That's a fact, though. That's a fact, though. You know what I mean?
Right off the back, like, just think about the statement that the judge has already set forth. Now, if I'm a lawyer, my first thing would be like, I want to recuse this judge for biasness. How do you allow that? The sheriffs or the county deputies or whoever else is on the job with that officer has no business in this courtroom if you're not allowing this man's family in there. Yeah. It's an intimidation tactic. It's demoralizing.
How did they control that, right? What if all these people work with ex-officer, right? They went on shift with them. They all know him. 50 motherfuckers showed up. They packed it out. They can't clear them out. It's an open arraignment, right? Everybody has a right to be there.
Hold on. You just said they can't clear them out. How can they not if they're not allowing it? They didn't allow the family in.
I saw the video where he was outside. I didn't see them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I saw.
If you are the judge, it is your courtroom. You can say, okay, your officers want to support your officer. Fine. Certain amount of officers, certain amount of family members. See how simple that is?
I mean, yeah.
Even if there's not enough family members to match the number of officers, that is what you. Thank you.
We need a place for the family, and they need to be make sure they're protected
and not intimidated, and harassed, because that's harassment.
And then what family member would actually want to come down there and support their people when they be like, all right, now all these police officers see my face, see who I am.
That is the system working exactly how it's supposed to.
There you go.
That is the system work. It is working exactly how it's supposed to. That's all I'm gonna say. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not.
And Instagram is blowing up over this shit right now. Like Instagram is going crazy over this, because if you're allowing this in the courtroom, I'm just gonna put it out there. Like, now, what kind of treatment is he gonna get accidentally behind the cameras when he gets taken into that holding cell in the room in the county? Yep. Oh, he accidentally slipped, or he accidentally was aggressive. Now it's a bunch of fucking
food look like. All of that. What does his water look like? What does all that look like?
Thank you. What is his treatment? Does he still get due process? Yeah. Does he still get his due process? Does he still get treated as any other person that has to be convicted gets? Because that's not what this is showing already.
Yeah, man.
So, you know what I mean?
You can't kill a cop then complain about intimidation. What do you expect?
Okay, so let me flip it back on you. Let me flip it back on you. Hey, no. I'm glad you said that. You can't kill a cop and not think about intimidation. A police officer is a fucking job. You killed one of our children. Where's the intimidation from the fucking community? Where's the intimidation from the community? Now, let this had been a Jewish kid in fucking Brooklyn. Do I even need to say anything more? Let this had been a Jewish kid in Brooklyn. And let's see if we be having the same fucking conversation about you not letting the entire Jewish community in this motherfucking courtroom. Let's see if it would have been the same exact treatment if you'd have killed a Jewish kid in Brooklyn with the Jewish community and the way they move with their own police force and ambulance. Let's see, where's the intimidation then? Exactly. Where's the intimidation from the community?
I'll tell you quickly about a story. There's somebody, a guest from our show, somebody we all know, right? One of his best friends, and shout out to him. I hit him up the other day, man. So one of his best friends got killed by a drunk driver in Long Island. Right? And he went home that same night, $300,000 bail, killed his friend in a Bentley. Went home. Went home. The family couldn't see him, be around him, know nothing. It's on the news right now in Nassau County. So we just talking about the difference of treatment. That was somebody's father. That was somebody's son.
Talk about it. Talk about
somebody's brother, right? Black man, affluent black man, living alone, doing the right motherfucking thing. And that's what happened. So shout out to our bro. I didn't want to put, I'm not going to say his name, you know what I'm saying? But like, if y'all look into it, it's a Long Island, happened in Nassau County, drunk driver, killed a black man in a Bentley, went home, $300,000 bail. You don't even see his face on the camera. You don't even see his face in the news. But but this brother get treated like that. You know what I'm saying? Message. I'm saying, like, but that's real, man. Wait, you this nigga going off.
No. I agree with you. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not hazing. No, I value your opinion, and you are allowed to have your opinion. I'm not knocking your opinion. I'm just giving you mine. Jarrett gave you his. Nadege gave you hers, right? Differences of opinions, we can agree to just disagree. And all I can say to end that off is I just hope and pray I'm never put in that position. And I hope and pray that if you eventually decide to start a family, that you, my brother, are never put in that position.
That's a fact, man. Praise to the family, man.
Yeah.
Praise to the family. Praise to all those involved. Praise to the other police officer involved as well. Because if he didn't do it, he was an innocent bystander, just wrong
Absolutely.
place, wrong time.
Absolutely.
Like, praise all around, man.
And prayers go out to his family. Right? We're not biased. Like, we're not sending a biased message here. If he is an innocent person that was just there doing his job, then prayers and condolences sincerely go out to his family. Doesn't matter what color he is. That man went to work to provide.
Right is right, wrong is wrong.
That's it.
That's what we stand.
That's it. So I again, and again, like, I want to bring up the image because I don't know if you've seen the image, Hayes, but I mean, you tell me what this looks like. I mean, and really, there's no even melanated officers in there, I think, but like one. And I'm just saying.
Back.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Just look at how this image looks.
His face, bro, face.
Right.
It's saying like, nigga, I'm standing on it.
Standing on business.
I don't give a fuck. It was my son. F all y'all.
Yeah.
I respect it. I can't even be mad at it, but praise across the board, man.
Yeah.
That shit's
okay.
sad.
So, it's a fiery topic. Emotions are gonna run high.
Yeah.
This is somebody's child, man. Again, somebody's child that they have invested in, nurtured, cared for, etc. for 18 years of his life. And not to say that whatever he was doing was right or wrong, but if somebody took his life unjustly, listen, man. It's what did they say? It's the natural. It's an unnatural order of things. Can we agree to that, Nadege? Right? A parent should never witness the death of their child. Right? It should be the opposite way around. Right? There's that. It's that in the natural order of growing up. Right? Because you're younger, technically, your parent should never experience the loss of a child. Now we understand things happen medically, and life happens. But again, this is not
something
that.
I wish on anybody.
Not that.
That is not that. Again, I don't have kids. Do I other younger people in my life that I love dearly and like, but I do not have somebody who is like of my flesh and blood. So I can only imagine for y'all like what that experience would be like.
Yeah.
I could not imagine again that flip switch, what the reaction could be. All I can say is my heart goes out to them, because again, that is not something I would wish on even my worst enemy.
That's a fact, though.
That is not an experience I wish for anybody to have.
I will tell you, sis, having a child would change your entire perspective on life.
Oh, I absolutely believe that. When God gives me that experience, I'm
telling you, sis, I was 20. I think Cuzzo was like around the same age. I was 20.
Oh, yeah, I had just turned 21.
Yeah,
I just turned 21. Yeah,
shit changed my entire perspective on life, how I move, how I act, how I'm shown, what the goals are. Everything just changes, right? And I was the first person in the crew with a baby. So I'm telling you, my mindset, I was thinking like a 35-year-old at 20 because I had the child. So imagine going through all those things, doing everything you got to do, doing the right thing, doing the shit by the book, and somebody take your motherfucking child. I couldn't even imagine, man.
Yeah, I can't.
Like, just shout out, praise to the family, man. Like, I can't even imagine that shit. Like, I hope he gets his due process. I hope he gets a fair trial. I hope he gets a fair shake. Whatever it shakes out to be, it shakes out to be. But you know what I'm saying? I think something like that, I don't even hear the community outraged about shit.
That's what I just said to you. Where's the community outrage?
Where's that outrage? I just
want to take it a step further. Let's go back in history to actually what was the initial reason that gangs, and these parties was started.
Yeah.
To protect each other.
The community, yeah.
The community. That is why these gangs and parties, political, started to protect each other. So, not saying a spade, but I'm just saying in those type of situations, you do 1 to ours, we all riding. See the difference? Now you can say it's wrong, you can say it's right, but you did something to one of ours, we all riding. I'm just saying that you see the difference. It's like,
so I want to ask y'all both this. This is
unity, man. Like,
real question for both of y'all. Do you think like something like a Black Panther or something like that would be able to exist today?
No, they get killed on sight.
I disagree. They do exist. There are black militias that operate right now, that operate in the open right now with absolutely no problem.
They can be open and they can operate, right? But not in the fashion that Black Panthers were, right? They were so involved in the community. They represented hope. They were doing food drives.
I disagree.
I don't know. I mean, I think they can get to a certain level, but I think once they reach a certain threshold,
that's what
of whatever intimidation the powers that be feel like, y'all doing too much. Because that's what happened in history.
but there's reason. So a lot of these parties, just if we're gonna have this conversation, let's have it fully. A lot of these parties, the reason that they disbanded is because they had a lot of Judases within the party. Do not discount that. There were people within the party that act like they were for the cause that was completely against the cause, and they were working for the other side. That's number one. Number two is the fear factor. See, it is a big difference, right? When you are dealing with people that move a certain way, right? This is how we stand, and we standing on business, then it is a completely different conversation than when you are moving with people that are afraid to get in trouble. It is a completely different conversation.
Well, I don't want to, before we go too far, you said something about there was Judas in the crew, right?
Yeah.
Judas. Also, that there was people that snitched, there was people that were working with the FBI. This is back, right?
Absolutely.
In order for them to work with the FBI, they had to be on the list already. We was already on the list. That's all I'm gonna say.
But you heard what I just said? So like, but hear what I just said.
Consider a terrorist organization, bro. Hoover said that we were the biggest threat to the U.S. That's what he said.
I'm not mad at that, but listen to what you just said. He was on the list, but I'm saying to you,
they got to that threshold and they were.
But that's what I'm saying. I agree with you.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's just
I gotta
go ahead, get it out.
No, it's just look.
Let's do it.
Fundamentals, right? And I'm.
Let's do it.
Why we one of the biggest questions is, why is our culture on the bottom of the fucking totem pole? It's because as a culture, as a people, we haven't figured out how to truly stand together. Hear me out. Because people are fucking afraid to get in trouble. When you have a culture that is standing on business and the message is, you mess with one, you mess with all, then that means all, right? That means all. They all band together to make it a reaction. So let me just break this down for you.
Okay.
Hayes says, oh, you mess with the police, you can't be mad about intimidation. Hayes, who are the police? Your neighbor, your cousin, your uncle, your man, maybe somebody. It's somebody with a fucking job. It's somebody with a fucking job who's putting the uniform on in front of, remember, Nadege, what did you say, right? Are you a man first? Are you black first? What do you identify? That's a perfect example of what you are talking about. You're putting the needs of an organization, of you making money in a particular organization over your culture, your family, etc. See, the government is run by fucking the people. The fucking police are people. The military are people. If you called in the military and all the motherfucking military is us, and because I'm military, and I go, I ain't doing that shit, and we all stood together, then they can't do a motherfucking thing because we ain't doing shit. Now what you want to do? Now you keep talking, we gonna turn on you. You have no power. You have no power. The problem is, because we're divided, you're gonna get some people that say, I'm with it, and then you're gonna get the other ones that say, nah, man, I need this check, or I love this job, or then it ain't happened to me. And that is the problem. We're not unified.
Message.
No, I agree. We're not
That is a very simple message.
Somber message.
I mean, no, I do agree with that. We are not organized.
That's what I'm saying to you. Every job is people, Nadege.
Yeah.
It's somebody's mother, brother, cousin. That's what I'm saying to you. That's what I'm saying to you. So, but if once again, what are you putting first, right? And that's why I said it's a great conversation starter of what you said earlier. It is a great conversation starter. What are you putting first? A man, your ethnicity, right? Your nationality, your job. What in what order is your value system based?
And that's the problem. Everybody
that's the problem.
Order. Everybody has a different order.
Here we go. There we go. There we go. So that's the most basic message that it's still crabbing a barrel mentality. Absolutely.
Come on, man. Talk.
Absolutely. Because that's all. That's, like I said, that's the only message that I'm saying to you. The president is the commander in chief. You can't command shit without soldiers.
I was gonna say, did y'all ever hear about Gen Z?
Yeah, the thing, like, go to war, we can be like, we ain't going to motherfucking place.
No, but have y'all seen that? Like, actually, like Gen Z, like lately has been like they've been going AWOL. Like, there's been texts like, yeah, I'm not doing this, and they'll just
absolutely.
But again,
young generation don't give a fuck, and I love that.
I love it.
I gotta. From the person with experience, let me chime in.
Yeah,
you
please.
see more of it now because social media is more prevalent. When I was in the military, social media wasn't social media. Mm-hmm. When I went into the military, Black Planet didn't even exist at that point. None of that shit existed. So a lot of the shit that happened to us was this. Mm-hmm. Hush, hush. Nobody said nothing. And if you did, it wasn't a way to mass distribute the information where people could understand it. Right, divide and conquer. You understand? So I'm telling you right now, I know people that we were across seas and niggas were supposed to do something. I'm not doing that, and didn't show up, and you suffered the consequences. Right, you went AWOL. It's called being AWOL, or you went against orders, and they got locked up for it. And you got to stand on business, though. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you got to be like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm not doing that. Where's your moral compass? Where's your foundation? You know what I'm saying?
Nigga said he was in the Iraq Indian War. Nigga said he was in the Cold War.
Man, like, I'm just saying. But it goes back to getting in trouble. So here's some information for you, Nadege, just in case you didn't know it. If you get, so there's different type of discharges in the military, right? Mm-hmm. The most popular discharge that everybody wants is called an honorable discharge. And then there's levels to the honorable discharge that if you decide to get out the military and then re-enlist back into the same branch or go into another branch, it will determine the benefits that you get, right? But honorable is the biggest one. But there are other ones called medical discharge if you got hurt, right? Wounded or something. And then the other one is called other than honorable, right? And then the worst one is called a bad conduct discharge, right? So between other than honorable and a bad conduct discharge, because you sign a contract with the government, if you get kicked out with one of those, it is a felony conviction on your right. It's a federal felony conviction. That is what it is.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. So when they go into this, I educate people going into the military. I say, be careful. You are signing a contract with the federal government, not state level. So if they kick you out and you get a bad conduct or other than honorable and you don't get the right level, that is a felony conviction. So when you go to apply for a job now and it says ever been convicted of a fucking felony,
you gotta play.
Does this still apply if you got drafted?
Say it again.
I don't want to be here.
Doesn't matter. It does not matter. You still have to sign your contract. They make you sign it, but you still have to sign it. It's still a legal document. You still have to sign it.
But how can it be if you make and you forcing me to do it?
Bro, I'm just telling you.
I'm with you. I understand it.
Even though you're drafted and there's a draft, you still have to sign the paperwork. You have to. It's a contract. It's a legal binding document. Because when you get in trouble, you don't get in trouble when they go, oh, Nadege, we caught you stealing, take it to jail. No, when you get in trouble, you go to court. It is no different than the system out here. You go to a military court. You get what's called court-martialed, right? You ever seen a few good men? Okay. Yeah, you have trials where it's a jury or a judge. You can present your case. There's lawyers. It's the same like judicial system, but just in the military. Sorry. Yeah, because it's a contract. They're saying you violated the terms and the conditions of your contract, which is legally binding. Yeah.
Now this is dope ass.
That's crazy. Yeah, right.
So there's a lot of people like you said that leave and be like, yo, that you say like, yo, I'm leaving. Like you said, the Gen Zers or whatever the YNs. And nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not saying they wrong. I'm just telling you, if they get kicked out, that is a felony. Now, after a certain amount of time, you can, I believe you have the right to the Senate. You have the right to Senate or Congress, and you can request that bad conduct discharge gets turned over, and you can apply for a other than honorable or an honorable, and kind of like you have to. It's almost like a good guy letter for people that get out of jail. You have to show that you've been good and you didn't get into trouble. Right, you can, but you have to apply. They can say no. It's not a guaranteed thing. So some people will get it, and some people they'll be like, no, denied. Try again.
That's crazy. God damn, that's a shout out to
if you were interested in joining the military, hit up Chad to make sure you get all the proper information to make an informed decision.
That's like slavery all again. Paperwork. Yeah, no, definitely hit up Chad.
King James.
And a Kinja meme. I hope I'm not saying your name wrong. That's
Kinja
like slavery all again with paperwork.
Well, to comment on that really quickly, just think about what you do in life that doesn't require paperwork.
Every job, everything.
Just understand that. Just understand that you having a social security number is a debt being paid back. Remember, social security numbers were not invented at the beginning of time. It was invented to keep track of you and make you a corporation, so that you can pay back a debt.
Yep.
Okay. So remember, everything is paperwork. From the moment you are born, you're given a what? Birth certificates. Birth certificates weren't from the beginning of time. These are all paperwork things that they developed and instituted to keep track of you. Everything's paperwork. Your birth certificate, right? Social security, a driver's license, everything's paperwork. A death certificate, every fucking thing. A marriage certificate, you got to ask to get married. You have to apply for it.
Yeah.
What isn't paperwork nowadays? You tell me.
I was gonna say something funny. I was like, hey, everything's paperwork. Nigga, it's hard. Everything.
But I'm just saying, if I'm wrong, correct. If I'm wrong,
you say some real shit, bro. I ain't mad at that.
You know what I'm saying? Taxes, every fucking thing is paperwork.
Everything is paperwork.
Yeah,
man. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. So
let's keep going.
Rodney
Hinton. Yeah. What about the Tyree Nichols equivalent?
Let's talk about it. You on it? Yeah. Keep going. Yeah,
Talk about it, sis. I'm gonna put up the message.
The picture. Oh.
Well, hold on. Hayes said too. Before we get into that, Silo Hendrix. I haven't heard about this. What is this?
Oh, that's the lady who kept saying the N-word on TikTok. Like, was like kept saying N-word, N-word, N-word in the park. Said it to a kid. Someone caught it on camera. Was like, did you say that N-word to a child? And she was like, yeah, I said it. No. And then went on GoFundMe or like whatever the fundraising, and it was like, help protect my family, and got like $100K.
What? What? This shit ain't see that.
And now there's TikToks, of course, of people being like, let me go call a kid an N-word and then go make myself a quick couple bands. But that's not fun.
How is that a thing?
Because
if you had a child, Nadege, and a grown up called your child,
$600K?
Yeah, she's getting money.
Oh, see, now it's over 600K. Because last time I saw it was like 100. Yeah.
If you had a child, Nadege.
See, I don't know. Like,
how do you feel about somebody calling you the N-word now? Because it's different between an adult to a child. That's why I'm asking you that. See, it's different.
Oh, as an adult, like, really, fuck your feelings.
no, I'm saying if an adult says it to you, you're an adult. But when an adult can disrespect a child like that, how do you feel about that?
If someone said it to me, like, I don't care, because I'm I have a degree in psychology. Yeah. Go ahead, take your projection and your mental illness, because racism should be in the DSM. I need it in the DSM R6. I don't know why racism isn't. But someone saying that to a child, 9 times out of 10, they know exactly what they're doing, because they're trying to get a reaction out of an adult that's what they want. It's an intimidation factor. For me, if it was my child, again, I don't have a child. There are young children in my life that I care deeply about and absolutely have the feeling of that I would kill and die for them. My own child, again, I feel like I probably would have an out-of-body experience. I can't say for sure because I don't have a child. But again, people like that know exactly what they're doing. And to me, it's stupidity. It's not ignorance, because ignorance is you don't know because you don't know. Stupidity is you don't know and you choose to not know, and you continue to perpetuate the behavior of not having the knowledge.
Message. Talk about it.
Sis knew exactly what she was doing. She was looking for attention. She knew, because that's the thing now. If you are polarizing, you get to be on social media, you go viral, and you get opportunities to make money. She took advantage of that. Do I agree with it? No, I think that's absolutely horrendous. How do you sleep at night? But then again, my other thought process, and this is maybe too intellectual, but just like when they say like Black people, like trauma is in our DNA, I think that behavior is that poor behavior, that barbaric behavior. If you look back in history of white people playing their little game of let's kill each other to get a bigger castle, is absolutely ingrained in their DNA today. So that polarizing bullshit behavior, at this point I expect it from palm colored people.
Yeah.
Like at this point, like, and I hate that I do. I hate that that's an expectation that they've set for themselves. But again, I don't have a child. So when you ask me those questions, if I had a child and someone talks to that child, my only response right now is probably blackout. I don't know. I can't give you an honest answer.
No, you gave us an honest answer, but you know what I loved about your answer? The fact that you said, and this, again, it's no disrespect, but it just shows your upbringing versus our upbringing. You just said, she said that to get a reaction out of a child. That's what you said, right?
No, to get a reaction out of adults.
I'm sorry, a reaction out of adults, right? She's in Minnesota. Shiloh, bring your fucking ass to the Bronx or any one of these urban neighborhoods. You ain't got to worry about the parents.
Did you see that, lady?
You do that shit to any one of these fucking kids and anyone, you ain't got to worry about the fucking parent. You'd have had your ass dragged by the child.
Real quick, did y'all see that little, I don't know if she was from, I don't know if it was Minnesota, but this lady decided to put herself on the corner in Bronx. I think it was like, I don't remember what street, but was standing on the corner in the Bronx and talking about like polarizing abortion issues and didn't think she was gonna get clocked in the head. She was in the South Bronx. Why are you playing with people like that? Why you thought you could do your cute little interview and but you killed the baby, but you pop.
You snuffed her. South
Bronx. I'm gonna send y'all the video, but like
I love it.
And then wanted to go into TikTok. She assaulted me. How could she? Ma'am, you decided to go do that. Don't. Because at this point,
scream now, cry.
You wanted your viral moment. You got it.
No, I seen the video. Seen the video, and the woman that was talking to her was very calm at first.
Yes.
She talked to her very calm at first.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but she talked to her very calm. But again, it's what did I say to you, right? It's sometimes it's a perfect example of when talking isn't enough. She talked to her for a while and then was like, okay, I see what you're looking for. Here's the attention that you're looking for.
Exactly.
See, me as a child, Nadege, us, Jarrett, in my community, let a palm-colored person, first of all, you even walking into our community, I'm just gonna fucking laugh. Like, yeah, okay.
First of all, you lost.
Right. Fuck being lost. You are shitting on yourself. Because once you see all of us outside, like, fuck it, you would have never. That's what I'm saying. People know when to. This is what I just said to you. When to play themselves. They know when to play certain cards, when to fuck around, because they feel like I'm not gonna find out. You know what I say? Fuck around and find out. She knew she wasn't really gonna find out in Minnesota. Yeah. Bring your ass to a real urban community and say that shit to an urban kid. You ain't got to worry about the parent. Just say it to an urban kid and see the reaction that the child gives you. Facts. And I guarantee you, it is a completely different conversation.
But look at the reverse. That's how the Karen shit started with the dude in the Central Park with the bird watcher. Yeah. Dude was a bird watcher. You thought he was a thug and all that. You did all that shit on the camera. And they were like, yo, this motherfucker's esteemed. This dude is this and that. Like, that's just what it is.
And that's why she lost her job.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So now the bigger question is, when we talk about community outrage, where's the community outrage that she is able to generate? 6, and I don't know what kind of job she has, right? This we would have to do a deeper dive in it, but you were able to raise $600,000. And I'm not going to say nobody of our skin complexion, because you always have those that donated. But again, I'm talking the majority. No majority urban is donating to that. So once again, that is her community showing her support. Have we not seen that before? Haven't we seen that before?
Message.
I'm saying, haven't we seen? How many times have we seen that? Not only for GoFundMe's, but for lawyer fees. Haven't we seen that before? Relocation fees. Haven't we seen that before? Okay. Thank you.
Crazy, yeah.
So, you know,
I'm lost in the sauce on the real talk. A lot of shit I ain't see.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, y'all. We be working, so working.
I want to definitely talk about. So now let's not be biased, right? Good. Let's not be biased, because we're talking about injustice and things of that nature. Because we're talking about injustice and things of that nature, let's not be biased, and we have to talk about the Tyree Nichols situation. The Tyree Nichols situation, right? Yeah. So
my fault. I got several texts talking about. Are you talking about the same shit, Dot? About the kid, the dude in high school killed the other kid who was messing with him? I think that's the same situation. I just got like 3-4 texts talking about the same shit.
So the Carmelo Anthony is the high school kid with the brothers. It was brothers, the track, and came into his camp, and that. Yes, that's what he's talking about. But again, haven't we seen this before? Haven't we seen this before? So let's do it. So where is the donations for the family of the kid that was disrespected? Where's the outrage? Where's the backlash for that? For a woman harassing a child? If the roles were reversed and it was a black person harassing a white child, calling them racial slurs and things of that nature,
what would it be?
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
You know.
So Tyree Nichols, let's talk about that. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk about the Tyree Nichols situation. Again, another brother that was unalived.
Pull it up. Let's do it.
All right. Another brother that was unalived. And what is different about this situation is the officers that were charged, there was a lot of them. 3, I believe it was 2 to 3 of them, took a deal. Took the deal early pled guilty. Pled guilty. We did it. We know we did it. Da 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 da. And they just exonerated, found them not guilty, whatever you want to use, terminology. The other officers not guilty. So let me make, again, fundamentals. I just want to make sure I understand this. We all did something together. We all did something together. It was clear as day. We all did it together. We all were involved in whatever. We plead guilty to it. Meaning, yes, we did it. As officers and stuff like that, we know we're going to jail, and we accepted it. And we said we're guilty, blah, 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 blah. And yet and still, you find the other officers not guilty? Now, the only difference in this is the majority of the officers here are African-American, black, brown, whatever you want to call it. We're going to put the picture up. Here it is. So, go ahead, Nadege. Tell me what your thoughts are about this.
Yeah.
I would say I'm not too versed in this. I haven't read the full article and like all the information on this case. But just from what I've gathered,
Yeah. This is tough.
no, it's hard because
Okay.
there's a lot of like, for me, there's a lot going on here. Because first, right, you have what I perceive as men putting the uniform before their skin color.
Yeah.
Which is what we talked about earlier. What do you put first in your identity?
Yeah. Talk about it.
And then the ones who took the deal, I don't know, felt guilty or felt like their skin color. And again, I don't know. I did not read the whole case. I will educate myself on it right after this. Probably took the deal because they felt like they would get tried for the color of their skin and not the uniform they wore. And then you got two people, the two others, who did get acquitted for the uniform or exonerated or what is the proper terminology. So
This is tough.
This is tough because again, like this is something we as a community have consistently speak about police brutality and trying to be better and do better. But again, like this is tough. What are you thinking, Jarrett?
Because we vouch for our community to be more involved in the community and be part of the police force and things like that, so we can have our voices in the community. And to see that backfire on us is fucking disheartening.
Absolutely.
Right? Like that whole picture just said a bunch of people that didn't have a good experience, like we were talking about, didn't have the same experience that you were talking about earlier growing up. And then they have something like this happen. They get the badge, and now they end up inflicting that same type of whatever they felt or experienced onto the community. And that's something that doesn't get talked about. People who don't get accepted by the culture. Who is the ones that accept the people in the culture? Who gives the passes? Well, like, you know what I'm saying? Like all of that shit. It should be like, and that's why instances like this happen. Like, I hate it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I just got a question for you. When they take off those uniforms, where do they go? You do know. No, you do know. When they take off the uniform for the day, their shift is over. Where do they go?
They come home.
Thank you.
And where is home? Looks like us. But where that home looks like, I don't know.
Thank you. Their home is the community. Their home is the community because they have to live in a community of people.
No. But a lot of times that community doesn't look like our community. That could be the difference. That community doesn't look like our community. If I'm being tormented in my community, I grew up in the hood, I got a good paying job, I'm getting overtime, I move out the hood, my kids don't experience it, I don't feel it, I'm so fucking far removed from that situation that do I really care about it? That's the problem. That's the real.
The question is, but they still go back to what? A community. So the question is, their community, because they have friends, cousins, sisters, but does the community now step in and be like, you can't live here no more. Get the fuck out of here. We holding you. I don't give a fuck what the judge said. We holding you accountable for check. That's what I'm talking about.
You talking about the court of public opinion.
The community. Not public opinion.
The community.
The community. Because you have to live somewhere. And I guarantee you, each one of them don't have a ranch that is perfectly fucking secluded, 20, 30 miles, nobody lives there. They live in a community somewhere around other people, and they interact with other people on a daily basis.
But even if the community doesn't look like us, I guarantee it impacts them in a different way. So imagine what it looks like if you're in the community, not in the community, but in a part of another community, and they're sitting there like, "Yeah, I saw what you did, man. I got your back," and how that feels. You know what I'm saying? That's got to hurt more than anything. Imagine that. I got your back. You did good, man. What does that look like?
So I'm sorry.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out. We got mad.
I'm sorry, Dante, big bro. We had so many comments coming in. We absolutely missed your comments. Dante said, "And the child had autism." So Dante's commenting on it. Yep. And the child had autism. So now deeper into the rabbit hole, you picked on an autistic child, right? And he says she's nailing it the same way that we say that we carry our ancestors in us. They carry their ancestors in them, which means he agrees exactly with what you said, Nadege, 100%. The kid who she called the N-word has raised. Okay, so now he said, thank you. And we appreciate it. This is what we're talking about. See, thank you, community. Thank you, community. Dante, part of the community, thank you for giving us the information so we can be better educated and we can make better decisions and have better conversations about the topic. So the kid that she called the N-word has raised over 500K. So we are supporting them too. Thank you, brother Dante. We truly appreciate you being a part of the community and contributing. See what happens when your community chimes in? Even Hayes, you're part of the community. Everybody. King, whoever, anybody that comments, everybody that comments, you are the community. This is why we keep asking you guys to get more involved, because if we don't have these type of conversations, if we don't start them, if Nadege doesn't make a comment or I don't make a, and you don't interject, you don't educate, then we are never going to move forward.
We got to figure out what that fucking tire flattening sound comes from.
I know what it comes from. I know what it comes from. It's coming from the sound effects. So we have to figure out, do we have too many sound effects, and is it backfeeding? That's where it's coming from. If you notice, it only happens after we play a certain sound effect or something like that. I realized that.
Like a bell or something like that. I feel like
yeah, we might have to just reload it or something like that. But this is the message that we've been talking about, ladies and gentlemen, about the power of community.
Yeah.
Plain and simple, right? Steve came on the other day and told you what black people, brown people, ethnic people spend. What is our GDP? $1 trillion. $1 trillion. We don't need nobody else. We could cure homelessness our goddamn selves. We could cure hunger, and we can. We don't need.
Powerful. I don't know if you caught that when he said it. He said that in 2053. The studies say that we're not going to.
Economic, economic zero.
They're going to be zero.
Yeah, but we've been talked about that in a different way.
I didn't hear that. That's the first time I heard
it. But we've been talked about that, because if you look at what BlackRock is doing, if you look at what BlackRock is, I mean, the writing been on the walls. Once again, it's too much talking. Motherfuckers ain't acting. It's too much talking. This is what I'm saying, Nadege. When do we stop fucking talking? When perfect example. What did we just do to Target as a community? What did we just do to the brand Target as a fucking community? If that ain't a statement of not talking and saying no, this is what we doing now.
And now imagine if we were properly organized.
There we go.
I was just straight off of like,
there we go.
Social media. Everybody stop going to Target.
There we go. And now take it a step further. What if everybody that didn't go spend their money in Target went to a black-owned business? What would that have done for the economy?
You know what I hate to? I'm going to just say, because I'm keeping it real. The CEO of Target went and spoke to Al Sharpton. I hate that. Do y'all feel some sort of way about that? I always hate that.
No, that's what he's supposed to do.
No, I don't know.
Which part? What part do you hate?
No, I just feel like it's who do you go? No, it's who do you go to and speak to when it comes to black issues? And we did not vote this motherfucker. Al Sharpton.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know who made Al Sharpton.
Who makes him that guy?
No. Okay, well, let me step in on that. The people made him that, because Al Sharpton, whether right or wrong, and whether you agree with everything that he's done, he hasn't been talking. for 50 years of how long he's been doing this. He's been showing up, getting locked up, doing this, doing that, and the people supporting him have elevated him to that platform. It's not a vote. It's been him stop talking and showing up, whether he's getting paid or not, for families that are losing their children, for injustice. That's why.
I think he does it. My problem with him is I think he does it more for publicity than actual action. Right. And that's the fine line. That's the great. I'm just keeping it funky. If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. I think that's my opinion. I think that I've been in New York 36 fucking years. I've never seen Al Sharpton come through.
Okay.
My block. I've never seen a book bag giveaway. I've never seen nothing. You do not speak for all of us as a whole. And that's probably partially the problem why we can't get together. That's partially the problem because it's this mindset too. But at the same time, you do not speak for us, bro. You do not. You do not go as the target. We would have had you on the podcast. We speak to the same people.
Hey, yeah, but
I'm just saying, bro. That's my opinion.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
What you know what happens? Payola. Yo, for this, say that.
I'm not negating what you're saying, but all I'm saying to you is this: Al Sharpton, technically, nobody elected Martin Luther King. Nobody elected Malcolm X. Nobody elected our black leaders, right? They did what they did and got pumped up by the culture in their times to become what they became. The message is we need more Al Sharptons. That's the bottom line, right? We need different Al Sharpton. We need more people to stop talking and show up consistently.
I get that. But what I'm trying to say is, bro, I feel like there's people that somebody like him, right? Everybody chose Martin because we knew what it was, right? Everybody galvanized behind his cause because you felt it was Jane. I just feel like he's also getting some underhanded shit to get some. I feel like this business is not the culture. So when we take that out, what is it? Harriet Tubman didn't get no payola. She did it. So if I die on this cross, this is what it is. Niggas.
I'm just gonna say alleged. I don't know any business of Al Sharpton. I don't know. See, that's Nan calling you right now. That's Nan calling you right now. That's Nan calling you right now. That's the national action.
Call a nigga.
They calling you right. And they calling you. I'm just saying. I'm not going to speak on things that I don't know. I'm not going to do that. You're entitled to your opinion. What I can do is speak from a different point of view. I've worked with the National Action Network. I've worked with the National Action Network on several projects. I've been down to the offices, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I believe that they do good work, right? I don't know what, speaking engagements and this and that and whatever he gets paid. And I don't know any of that.
No, same here.
I
think there are other people who have a similar opinion to Jarrett, and I think vice versa.
I just say show up and right. See, my shit is I just be keeping shit real basic and simple, right? If you don't like the motherfucker in charge, take his place.
No,
if you don't like the views of a motherfucker that what he's doing, then do it your way. You understand what I'm saying? But
I do
something. But you gotta fucking do it.
You can't sit there and complain about the problem if you're not gonna be part of the solution.
That's all I keep. I'm so consistent with my message, right? You can't remember when we was at the stock exchange and I did the video. What did I say in the video? I said, you keep complaining, but you can't even get in.
Yeah.
No, that was a message to that. You keep fucking complaining, but you can't even get in. And there's a difference between, you don't have to dedicate your life to the service, public service. You don't have to, because he's a reverend, I believe, right? Yeah. So I think he started in the church. And so you don't have to dedicate your life to public service and take that path. You can be an activist in your spare time and don't.
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
but
listen, there are many places to be a cog in the machine.
There we go. But a lot of people don't do nothing, Nadege.
No,
they don't do nothing.
So I encourage everyone to go Google. There are too many nonprofits out there that you can go volunteer for in your local community. I promise you, I can think of like 5 right now, just within a 2-mile radius of my house. You can go serve food at the soup kitchen. You can go to a rally. But my thing is, you can't sit at home and do nothing, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. So you can't sit there and, again, complain about problems if you don't want to be part of the solution. And no one's saying for you to go stand up and be Reverend Al Sharpton and go be Martin Luther King. There are only so many of those people in the world, but there are plenty of other people who are grassroots handing out. Listen, you give 10 you help hand out some food, you've done your service. Because you'd be surprised what that moment can do for you. I'm a shout out because this is one of my favorite is Food Not Bombs.
Okay.
So y'all can look that up. That is a great place to start. They are completely self-run. There's no centralized organization. These are all individual community based. And just go, show up. They all got Google Food Not Bombs. It happens. There's always one somewhere in your community. What does that say? Yeah,
Shirley Strawberry.
Again, hold on. Again, the reason I'm not gonna comment on that directly is because, once again, right? Here's the problem with this type of situation. A lot of these organizations are nonprofit organizations. Can we all agree to that, right? Nonprofit organizations, right? And you start out a nonprofit organization and you build your organization, etc. He's the CEO and runs the organization, whatever the case may be. I don't know their financials. I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't know. We don't know. Like, and a lot of times, a lot of misinformation is put out there to polarize you against these organizations. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. My message is very clear. Like Nadege said, like I told you when we did the New York Stock Exchange, you can't complain if you can't get in. Get off your ass and do something. Brother Hayes, how many times have you gone out and volunteered yourself to work within the community for a nonprofit organization or give back within the community? How many times have you done it in your life? How often do you do it? I'm asking you, how often do you do it? How many times in your life have you done it? Whether you are a cog in somebody else's system or you have created an event on your own that you managed the way you wanted to give back to whatever community you felt like you're a part of. How many times have you done that?
No, and
you don't even gotta go to. I'm
asking. No, I'm asking you.
I'm saying you don't even have to just go to. Like, your community has town halls. Go sit in a meeting and listen in. That's the bare minimum. Like, listen, just going into listen and gather information is the first step.
Absolutely. And what I want to say, as a brother that sits here and does 2 hours with y'all 2 times a week, that gives back to the community by giving the information back, that's not it. I want to see more representation of us. It's not one person speaking for us, because I don't know what he's getting behind the door. I don't know what's going on. And guess what? My conversation, what I thought and what my community think did not matter. So if my community and my family didn't matter, why the fuck are you speaking for us? Because guess what? That is still business. He's still getting money for the nonprofit. Money's still being funneled. There's still corruption. There's a lot of shit that we know. I'm not saying he's doing it or not doing it, but what Hayes just put says that. And that's the shit information I've got. Whether it's wrong, right, or indifferent, I have not seen him. I have not seen his impact. We just said that we have people. I get texts every day. Yo, you changed my life. Yo, I just got this job. Yo, I got this. We have zero say. So on that note, I don't care what he's talking about.
The only, like I said, the only, I'm not knocking anything that you said. I can only give you what I've done. I have not waited for anybody to come to my community. If I felt like I wanted to be involved in somebody else's cause, I got off my fucking ass and I went down and I seen what their cause was about. Did I involve myself in every event? No, it's impossible. But the events that I felt like I wanted to involve myself in, I got involved. I gave my time more than once for years at a time. And not only that, but I created my own events. For example, Hayes, 1 year we gave out suits and gowns for graduating high school students. I got with my local community center. We went to a school. I did a flyer. I bought my Black Caucus that we created within my union. I got sponsors, and I even brought Al. He did free measurements. So if you got the suit and it didn't fit, he would measure you and do all of that things. And we did the most that we could to give back with the resources that we had. I didn't ask Al Sharpton, are you coming down to do this within my community? I did it. I created the event. We created the event within the community. We went into our pockets, and that's what we chose to do, right? So again, this is what I'm saying, right? You have the ability to do whatever you want to do or join somebody else's cause. But if you aren't doing anything or haven't done anything, then your opinion is one-sided because you have an opinion on somebody doing something, but what are you doing to counteract that? That's all I'm saying. And that's not for just you, Hayes. That's for anybody.
I can get with that.
Anybody. That's all I'm saying. Right?
We put boots to the ground. I'm just saying.
We do.
We put boots on the ground.
Yeah. We do. But what did I just say? But guess what, Jarrett? You are one person within your community. Your family is a couple people within your entire community. There's a lot of other people.
Absolutely. Which is why, like somebody like me, you know, I go to. Oh. I speak to the homies that run the block. Sis. Like, you know what they come up to me and say? Yo, I love what you're doing. I'm like, yo, when it's time to do whatever you need. I'm having those type of when we're gonna do the book bag giveaways. We're gonna do this. We're gonna have vendors come through. How many black-owned businesses in Parkchester? Not too many. Okay, if they was, would you be shopping with them? I have these conversations openly. So with that being said, like that's the shit that we do.
Oh no, see, and this is where you've lost me right here. A total of 0 times. You see? And this is where you've lost me. Right here. Right here. So now the question I pose to you, Hayes, is what the fuck are you waiting for? Are you waiting for something traumatic to happen close to you? And if you've not donated your time and this is for anybody, right? See, this is what I'm saying, right? When you don't do anything to support the community, do you wait for something to happen that's close to home or hits home personally? And then realistically, do you expect the community that you just honestly admitted that you did nothing to support you? Is that not a one-sided relationship? Think about it. Think about it.
Yeah.
Cuzzo, you on mute.
I ain't gonna front. I was doing something else. The kids is
no. So no. What I said is for anybody that doesn't do anything to support their community, that doesn't give up their time in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Do you wait because you're in a bubble, right? It didn't happen to me. It didn't happen to my family. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Do you wait, unfortunately, for something to hit home for you to now want to get involved? And then now when you get involved with all your rage and fury, do you expect the community that you just did nothing to support you?
I agree. It's a gray area.
That's a gray area?
That immediately makes me think of that saying, and I don't want to quote it wrong.
There it goes.
Well, was Al Sharpton making $500,000 when he first started?
No, he wasn't making nothing. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said he lost me there, because what you're doing is you're honing in on one fact that you think you know. You don't know how much money he's made. You don't know the financials. What you're doing is you're relying on information to feed you that. But when he was a reverend, when he was doing this, when he was getting locked up, and this, was he getting paid that? He's been doing this shit for 30. Not only him, other leaders that have lost their fucking life to this shit. Don't forget, Hayes, the people that have lost their fucking life, that never got a chance to live nowhere near as long as Al Sharpton has lived, that got avenues and boulevards and shit named after them. They gave their life, their actual life, for the cause. So when you say, will I give my life to avenge my son? They gave their life for their community, for the cause, in hopes of a better tomorrow for the culture. Come on now. Like, are we going to talk about this? Then we got to talk about this for real. No, they didn't understand that they were going to lose their life. But you understand what I'm saying? If you're still out there marching and doing this and doing that, like you said, Jarrett, they know they on the list. They know they're this. They know they're that. What we got?
So here's my question. Pastor Brian started the boycott, but he went and spoke to Sharpton instead of Pastor Brian. That's my issue.
Okay. To me, that's optics. Because again, just like Jarrett, not a fan of it, but like socially, Reverend Al Sharpton has become a very public figure as a representative of the Black community. Do I agree that he should always be our point person. No, I think there's other people. Like, yes, I think it would have been going to Pastor Bryant. But again, how we are perceived by people who are not in our community is different than how we perceive ourselves within the community.
But that's the problem.
I'm
Al
not.
Sharpton should have said, Pastor Brian, you coming with me, or he's the one that started this, and I'm gonna back him. Why could that can happen?
Why? I don't know. You have to ask.
I just said we don't have. I'm only saying we wasn't privy to the conversation, so we just don't know if it happened. That's all I'm saying.
Right. I'm just saying what the final thing that I'm seeing on the net, what's going on, my headlines, what's going across my algorithm is CEO of Target is sitting down with Al Sharpton. I saw nothing about Pastor Bryant. So now if I'm Pastor Bryant putting boots on the ground in the community, I'm the one who started this boycott, and you put your name on it because you have a bigger brand than me. That's like us starting a new business and Nike coming to buy the shit. And we had a cool ass sneaker, but they just redid the whole shit and took it and ran with it and monetized it. That's what I'm saying.
I dig it.
That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm
not saying his intentions ain't right, bad, wrong, and different, but it happens way too fucking often. Way too often. And then we hear it a lot too, where it's like, the wife of Sean Bell, the mother of this one, you're there for this, but what happens afterwards? We are with Phil and Niece. We know what the conversation we have. We're not going to talk about, but you know sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's not.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
I don't like.
That's a fact. The only rebuttal again that I have for that is, unfortunately, Al Sharpton is one man, and unfortunately, we hear about these tragedies. Those are the ones that we hear about.
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean that that was the only black or brown child unalived by police violence in America, blah, blah, blah. That means that was just the one that made the news.
Mm-hmm.
So there are so many families and so many causes to champion, to be a part of, to support, that he can only do but so much. So he has to, because he runs a business, right? National Action Network is a business. It's a nonprofit organization. He runs a business. So he has to be strategic he has staff and blah, 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 right? He has to be strategic with the things that he pick up. So there's other people that do other good work. Like you said, Nadege, there's other nonprofits that do great work, but they can't help everybody. So that's why I just keep going back to what I just said, right? This is why we need more involvement within the community so that some people don't slip through the cracks. And it's not just the attention that we give it in the moment when it's the hottest thing on the newsreel. Like Jarrett just said, what happens after? Where's the support when the news dies down and moves on to another story? Where's the support after the fact? He's absolutely right. But that's all I'm saying, right? So, but the only way to support that is for more people to get involved so that it's not a burden on one. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
And and the thing is, it's got to start small. Start at home.
There you go. There it goes. I think we all in agreement.
Yeah. I just want to say I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
When I said that was the play, obviously, big CEO, big name brand, go for one of the top name brand leaders in what you consider to be the black community. That's the play. That we all know that's the play.
No, that was optics.
That's optics. We know that. That's when I said that's the play, that's what he was supposed to do. Because as a CEO answering to a board of directors, you're gonna sit there. That was again, how about that, right? We don't know if the CEO made the decision to go talk to Al Sharpton or the board made the decision to say, this is who we want you to go talk to. We don't, you understand? Sometimes the CEO doesn't get the chance, like in a situation like this, the CEO might not get a chance to make. The board might say, we had an emergency meeting and this is what the fuck you're gonna do. You're gonna talk to this person. We've decided, go get it done. That's what I'm saying. Like,
and us as a community, us as Al Sharpton, whoever the hell is that representative, is you only talking to me because your sales are down.
Yeah.
Let's keep it a theme.
Man's lost half his salary. Good. 60% higher than the average.
Yeah,
the worker. And
I didn't hit it interview, so I don't know.
Target, how many of us are doing shipping, they're handling the logistics, the cashier, all that, and they're making minimum wage, and you have this rhetoric out there, and you killing diversity and inclusion and all that. Okay, and then you still take the meeting, and we didn't see anything. It's not like you went on joint was like, all right, cool. You want to have this conversation, so we're gonna live stream this thing where the community could actually
I
participate.
love it. Have a town hall meeting with it.
Have a town hall.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with it.
No, I'm with
That's the shit.
not how the cookie crumbled.
That's see how it goes. And now we can see how. Then I respect it. But if it's a closed door meeting, too many things happen in them closed door meetings, and we didn't see anything. And guess what? Even if you had a good meeting, he's not the one that's going to be like, all right, go back to Target. Motherfucker, I'm going to go to Target when I want to. I'm going to go to Walmart. They got better prices, nigga. I don't know.
They ain't got their union is like
they doing more. And Costco's really the ones that's stepping up for DEI.
Yeah.
Costco.
I sneak in with my
Well,
grandma.
I mean, again, don't get fooled by the hat trick. Remember, one organization owns all of them, 2-3 of them. So I'm just saying.
It is. They're doing an A/B test.
Right.
The A/B test to see what moves what and how much does culture move the brand. We know what it is. So I'm just saying, us as a culture, we can't fall for that either. And we got to be just as outraged to be like, yo, all right, cool. What happened from that? What we doing? What was that?
yo, Hayes is like a dog with a bone, bro. Where he's like a dog with a bone, bro. He's like,
the perm don't perm itself.
you
feel me, sis? The perm ain't perming by itself.
All right, what else we got? Or let's
to lighten it up before we get out of here. I just want to talk about something that we talked about and we championed on this fucking show, and we praised this shit. And we just was like, yo, we love it. It's fucking die. We had such a good discussion on it, and it turned out to be a hoax. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to put up the picture just so you see it. You understand what I'm saying? The Blue Origin space mission, the all women, you know what I mean? Like, we had such a good conversation. It was in the media and blah, blah, blah. We championed this shit and a lot of ethnic women on there. And it turned out to be absolute bullshit. And not only was it a hoax or a publicity stunt or a well-crafted PR, blah, blah, blah. Now Jeff Bezos allegedly is suing Katy Perry for fucking up.
Wait, so what happened? Because actually I haven't read on this.
So
what's the story?
Remember what all the conspiracy theorists, right? Remember what everybody was complaining about right off the back. They were saying, like, when the capsule landed, it ain't have no burn. How do you just enter the atmosphere? You ain't got no scorch marks, no burn. They dissected this whole thing. The time it took you to go up and come back down, they dissected the whole thing. But the biggest thing was when when Jeff Bezos was walking up to the door with this little special design tool to open the door and all that shit, you know, the Gail Armstrong, you know what I'm saying? Like, when he was walking up to open the door, like, it took this special crafted tool to open the door and it only could be opened from the outside. Katy Perry accidentally opened the door from the inside and almost stepped out. And when she did it, he kind of cued her, like, no, close the door. Like, you fucking up the optics. And that's why people went crazy with it. So she opened up the door from the inside. The video clearly shows her not only opening the door, but damn near stepping out and then quickly closing it. And then him putting the fucking fake wrench or the wrench to act like he opened the door, and it could only be opened that way, and then everything exploded from there. So technically, if I'm not mistaken, from what I was reading, they never went to space. They never, this shit was a fucking well-crafted moon landing. This is the 2025 moon landing. Like Cuzzo said, Gail Armstrong. We never landed on the fucking moon, and clearly fucking Katy Perry never went to fucking space. Where's the space helmet? Everybody, where's the helmets? Where's the astronauts wear helmets and suits, and they up there with perms and motherfucking washers, and no, you don't need a helmet no more. You know.
Bill Nye said we are in a closed system, and I'm gonna stick with that.
Oh man.
I'm gonna stay my booty.
Two things you have to talk about: the fact that it was staged and it's a hoax, and how do you feel about him now suing her? Because obviously now that the public realized this shit was bullshit, his stocks tanked. And now the company itself is like, it might not be able to keep going. How you feel about that?
Sis, talk. I got it. I'm just gonna say I called it in the other real talk. I was like, how the fuck they gonna say anybody? They gonna say Gail? I said Gail. Yeah. I called it. We're gonna go back. We're gonna do something.
You did. You did.
No, you did.
Right. You did.
I didn't want to steal your thunder. You were so proud.
Look at the comments. They saying they bamboozled us.
Yeah, no, I mean,
hit us with the banana in the tail. Yo, we living in a Truman Show.
No, the comments
was Beverly Hills Cop, banana in the tailpipe with the cow. This was an Axel Foley. This is Axel Foley. They Axel fucking Foleyed us.
No,
this is bullshit.
At the end, because I'm gonna stick with whatever the conspiracy theorists got their thoughts on. Kudos to them for CIA and that up. Like they caught that. So what were the two questions? Because we gotta look.
One. We champion this thing as being a woman's movement. So how do you feel about it as a woman being a hoax now? And the people involved, having positions within the community, having a voice, right? A certain plateau, being involved in something that they knew was fake news. Fake news. Fake news.
My dog it's fake news. It's fake news. It's fake news.
You done? You got what? Go ahead. I think this is a very good lesson on why we need to remember celebrities are not our thought leaders. I think this is a very good lesson on that. Like we should stop pedestalizing celebrities as intellectuals.
You corrected me earlier. I got to look up that word.
What?
Pedestalizing? It don't sound right.
I like it. I think this.
It's not like it's super
I before E, except after.
I got corrected earlier, but pedestalizing. Now, listen, I ain't the best, but I gotta check Webster on that motherfucker.
You're Cole Webster. Sis,
check Webster.
Don't check Webster on you, no, sis. He said some other
pedestalize something or someone means to elevate them into a position of exaggeration, esteem, often placing them on a pedestal figuratively.
Pedestalize? Was that again? Pedestalize?
Pedestalize.
Okay, well, shit, I stand corrected. There's too many syllables for me, shit.
Snap, crackle, pop, them like this. Anywho, yeah, we need to stop putting our celebrities on an intellectual pedestal. That was the lesson. Lesson one. Right, that's why I love black women too.
Only on more than the title you gonna get shit like this. Remember that. You only gonna get this why she's called the balance. See, that's why we call it a balance. You see?
So yeah, that's the first lesson. Was I in support? I'm always gonna be in support. Just listen, I don't know, whoever watches Love Island, we're gonna bring the Love Island fans because it's coming up at the next month. I support women's rights and wrongs as a woman, but lying about going to space is absolutely crazy. Because why would we already living in the Hunger Games? Like, why did you like
Blue Origin?
Jarrett, you gonna be tribute?
The name sounds nuts. The Blue Origin, the name.
Like the blue,
man.
All the black women, they just gonna say, Gail, you ain't gonna say Oprah?
Yeah, actually, I would love to see Oprah in space.
You gonna say Gail?
Now you know that air pressure and Ozempic don't match. You depressurize Ozempic with all the side effects that shit already got. Oprah would have fuck around and blew up.
I'll never go with the fact that medication is for people with diabetes, and it's not for losing weight.
Okay,
so yeah. And I mean, what did Drake say? When you're rich, you can afford to be dramatic. So
that's more than dramatic, though. I think
I'm talking about Jeff Bezos suing Katy Perry.
Okay. I was talking about the representation of the women to the culture, to the young
that
women.
like no, that exactly that is wild.
That's wild.
That is, but I also do believe in the study of when you reach a certain financial echelon in society, morals and your moral compass basically is non-existent.
Absolutely.
So
here on More Than the Title, me and Jarrett moral compass gonna stay intact. So when we get there, ladies and gentlemen, help us get there.
Yeah.
And the way that you can help us get there, and the way that you can help us get there.
We gotta pay some bills. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
The damn shop down, but it'll be
if y'all wanna help me hire my mommy like Angela Reese did on her podcast,
Since they ordered so much, they shut the store down. They ordered so much.
But yeah, what is your thoughts?
I hate it. I hate the lie because
this shit is I'm not To quote one of the greatest rappers to ever do it, man. Scarface the movie did more than Scarface the rapper to me. You understand? It's like, I'm just saying, like, I'm like, we in the fucking Matrix. We in the fucking Matrix. Like, that movie for me was like everything. It's like, we in the fucking Matrix, man. And people just want to live and be entertained, and they don't want the reality of what the fuck we are really doing. They don't want the Cuzzo, the TV show. Come on, the one you put me on to. One of the episodes. Black Mirror.
Oh, yeah,
this is a Black Mirror episode with the soldier. And they put the shit on the soldier, and he's seen a human being as something else.
Yeah.
And when he went to kill him, they like, wait, don't kill me. And he's like, wait, I see you. And they're like, wait, you actually see me? I'm not an alien, I'm a human. That's what I'm talking about. Like, what do you actually see? What do you want to see? Do you really want the fucking truth? Because it's ugly and it's nasty. Make you look in the fucking mirror and take accountability, and most people don't want to fucking take accountability.
Lies than ugly truths.
It is.
There you go.
It is.
That's how it always.
Pretty lies and ugly truths.
Yeah.
I'm extremely disappointed.
This is gonna be the title of the drink. Pretty.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Look, again, I'm extremely disappointed. Like, again, statue, symbolism, dope, message, sending women to space that are of certain status, right? Voices of certain people, and it should end up being a fucking hoax. And then, not being funny, majority ethnic women. That shit, like, the real message that you're sending, like, that shit is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you are a part of that shit, instead of being like, I don't give a fuck what the check look like, but I'm not doing that. Either we doing it or we not doing it. It's crazy. Now, my question is, how do you backpedal from that? Where's the apology from that? What's the public reconstruction of your image? And I'm still for the hood. I made a mistake. What do you say now? Where's your credibility now?
For any of their hoods, let's start there.
No, but they still have families. All they families
use that check to pacify. Well, listen, I told you, when you reach a certain financial status, a lot of morals just like go out the window.
Message.
It's just it's literally a cycle. Like, they have done psychological studies on it already.
Gail has a niece, a cousin, somebody up there that said, "Oh my God, that's my family.
That's my fucking family.
That's my family.
That's my auntie."
It means more than that. Like, if we're gonna do it, or at least I'm gonna be real with it and be like, "Look, I can do this thing. I'll do the drain, but like in a month or two, I gotta be real and say what it is or whatever, something."
But I think the funniest thing about all that is because, like, well, did you go to space? Bitch, no, you didn't. You ain't go to space neither.
Nobody went to space. Nobody. Everything is fake.
And you ain't neither. Now what? Me looking at you, looking at me, looking at you.
We're in space. Because now, Gail, you got this face.
Yeah, you got that face. No, she's gonna be banned from space. She's gonna have that face. She's gonna be banned from space.
Gail, you are now banned from all Blue Origin. If the planet blowing up, you can't get a flight. Oprah can't get you on. This is like 2012. You can't get on the boat. You can't get on now. You can't get on now.
It's a fact, relaxation. That's the real. They knew what it was, man.
Thank you.
Shit, we had like 2:30 though. B, I ain't gonna lie. I'm hungry than hell.
All right, so I'm just saying we can end it off on this, but again, now you like, I want to sue. I think that's just the irony of it. Like now you want to sue. Now you want to sue because clearly your bottom line is money. You didn't care about the culture. You didn't care about the image. You didn't care about how it's going to affect younger generations coming up. You gave a fuck about getting this company the funding so you can blah, blah, so you can make more money than you already have. And you're already one of the richest motherfuckers in the world. Problem with this is, as we just seen, unfortunately, with Luigi, you guys don't live in a fucking bubble. And you think that the shit that you do won't come back to you, but you're not always in your fucking mansion and you're not always around your rich ass friends. You're not always around people that's going to fucking protect you. And the shit that you are doing to people in real time, when you at the grocery store, you fucking go eat, you got a waiter, you got a motherfucking valeter to valet that road. All that shit is regular fucking people. And you're not thinking about the consequences of the shit that you are doing when you have to interact with the general fucking public, and your family interacts with the general public. See
they
the
don't
message?
Their families do. They think their families are in this echelon lifestyle that they'll never interact with a regular person. That is why Elon will continue to carry his child as a human shield until he can't hold that kid no more.
That's a fact. That's nasty.
And then he'll just go grab one of the other 50 billion kids that he got.
Yep.
I agree. Yeah.
I agree. Relaxation. I agree. So
because if you don't believe in karma, you're not going to experience karma.
Yeah.
That's damn.
That was a message.
Oh, I wasn't by the button.
I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't. My finger wasn't on the trigger. I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't by the button. I was. Hold on. I'm in comments. Hold on. And relaxation. Everybody.
If you don't believe in karma, you won't experience karma.
That's real shit.
Yeah, it is, man.
That's why we have villains running the world.
It's Gotham.
And what I love is and I always think it's hilarious is like the kids know it. Like I used to teach like preschool. Like those kids would be like, "That's a villain." Like he look, and I point like that looks like Jafar. That looks like the evil guy. Like they.
That's how they have it.
So I'm just gonna leave us with this, and this will be my last comment on anything that we talked about today. I love this episode. I think we got some great content. I'm so appreciative that our community chimed in. I'm gonna say this. Me and Cuzzo come from a different place from Nadege. We don't claim to be perfect, but we stand on our actions, period. Okay? We don't do a lot of the shit that we could do because we choose not to. Plain and fucking simple. Every human being has a decision to either do something or not. Plain and simple. Okay? Choice and a chance. So be clear, right? Anybody that, and now we are public figures, right? Anybody that eventually, because of the work that you are doing, you're getting projected into a public figure role, just be careful of what you are saying and what you are doing, and just understand the impacts and the implications that it can have on your community, right? Or be ready to stand on business, right? But don't be a fucking hypocrite. Don't say a bunch of shit when you ain't in position, and then when you get a chance to be in position and make the change or be the change, you do the same stupid shit and or worse, because then you're hypocrite. And that is that.
That's the message.
That's the message.
And I'm giving everybody homework. You should read Animal Farm. Because that's basically the world we live in right now. That's your homework. It's not a heavy book.
Send me the audio file.
I saw a textbook.
It's a PDF. I had to read it in high school, so it's not a thick book. It's what kids read in high school. So
our high school is different.
Give me Cliff Notes.
Our high school is different.
He went.
Okay, maybe because maybe because I read Macbeth in middle school, so maybe I did.
And now I'm done with you. And now I'm done with you. And now I'm done with you. Because you just did a haze mode. That was a haze mode. And now I'm done with you. Ain't nobody read no fucking Macbeth. No. Ain't nobody,
I did. I read Macbeth.
Nobody Mick nothing. The only Mick we acknowledge is chicken. McChicken. The only Mick we acknowledge is McDonald's.
That's it.
That's the only Mick we acknowledge. The only Christopher we acknowledge is Wallace. The only Mick we acknowledge is McChicken or McDonald's.
That is culture.
No, that's the clip.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I think it's very important to you said, Chadeo, education is everything. You've got to educate yourself. There's plenty of resources out there. Mr. Google and YouTube University is a great start.
Yeah.
And so is our DMs.
Yeah. No, 200%. You won't get no argument from me. I'm actually reading a book right now. More of an empowerment book. Yeah, I'll show it to you.
Oh yeah, I am audiobooking. What am I on right now? I always do.
Shout out to my man Cool. I don't know if you still tuned in, Cool. Shout out to my man Cool, because me and my man Cool have a lot of these intellectual conversations. That's why, I just appreciate our relationship. And he has a library in his house, and a lot of times I go over there and I'm like, yo, I need a good book. So my man Cool gave me this book. He recommended this book for me as a good read. I don't know if you can see it.
Ooh, a Black History reader.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So this is the you see the
that's a cute book part.
The bookmark, yeah. So this is the book I'm actually reading in the moment, right? So I am, I do practice what I preach, right? I do read, and I don't put it out there a lot, but I do continually educate myself. So you're absolutely right. It's the only way for us to move forward is to continue to get education and learn new things so that we can communicate better and learn how to, change this fucking thing. You know what I mean? So you're absolutely right. You know what I mean? So you got any closing words, Cuzzo? You want me to close this thing out?
I'm good. Yeah, killed it.
Yeah. All right. So since this was a real talk, and since Nadege opened it up, we're gonna let her go ahead and close it out. The floor is yours.
All right, y'all. Well, you already know it's been a real talk about the culture. We talked about the good, the bad, the ugly. We talked about, most importantly, the power of community. So get involved. We said, I'm gonna shout out Life Camp. Cannot wait to work with y'all and the amazing work that you do. If there's any other community engagement out there, we already heard we're Service Hearts. We want to do that too. And yeah, y'all, this has been a great episode. Y'all gonna see us next Tuesday. Of course, we got another great episode. So I'm gonna hand it off to my guys to do their favorite closeout line. Chadeo.
I'm let them know who we got. We got 3 episodes like we gave y'all this week. We got Max Rivera, who's the global partnership manager at Snapchat. He's a Forbes 30 under 30. He's killing this shit in Snapchat, running the biz. He's coming through Tuesday. We got Udi Letigo, our first episode ever on More Than Title, our first guest ever coming back through. He has a best-selling, New York Times best-selling book out right now, Courageous Marketing. He's coming through, going to talk about it. Then on Thursday, we got Siam Ibrahim, one of the real estate moguls out here, looks like us. He went from quit his job, started his business with his family, 200 M's business, started here. He's going to tell you how he did it next Thursday. And this is what we're doing.
And again, we like to break up the monotony of just having guests on the show. We like to give you guys different content. Normally we do a real talk once a month, but we've been so busy in our schedules that we didn't have the time to do it. But these type of talks are important. You guys engaging with us is important. We appreciate everybody that took the time to comment. Hayes, again, took the time to listen to us and comment more than what a lot of other fucking people are doing. So again, we'll go back and forth with Hayes, but he sits down, he listens, he researches. Again, he's taking the time to be involved. This, for you, Hayes, can be part of your community activities that I'll give you credit for. Yeah, I'm like your PO. 2 hours credit for community activation, motherfucker. So now you got 2 hours. But so we didn't have a guest, but again, another phenomenal episode. We covered a lot. We laughed, we joked. We're us, man. Raw, unfiltered, authentic. It's your favorite podcast. We're gonna see y'all next week. It's More Than the Title. You know what it is.
What you know about me? Seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me? I done it all, just want it